You are one of us. Your passion is the world of mountain biking, from enduro to gravel races and everything in between. This is Insider MTB, the podcast that takes you behind the handlebars, into the dirt, and behind the scenes of the mountain biking world. And now your host, Austin White.
I like how Austin waits for it to sorry.
Well, I gotta wait for it. I
just wanted to talk
you know?
over you. But yeah, you're just like, I'm going to wait for this intro to exit or whatever.
Exit. Well, yeah, you got to wait for like that, that knoll and then hit it right,
Yeah, it's like when the audience is laughing and then you don't talk over them. Yeah, I get it.
Totally. All right, yeah. All right, episode 5. You guys, this is sick. I can't believe we made it. I said that in episode 4, but honestly, this was kind of a rough one to get to because we kind of missed a week. Kind of gnarly, but yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in, downloading, subscribing, hitting that shit, whatever you're doing. I like it. Keep doing it. Thank you so much. I'm joined, co-host today, Spencer Rathkamp, as usual, crushing it on a mountain bike. Jamesy, who's got some new fucking download for us, hitting us with some shit. And I'm Austin White. So thank you. I see Spencer laughing over there. I get it.
Well, I think one of the reasons we kind of screwed the pooch on recording last week was because of Sedona Fest, MTB Fest. Spencer and I got to cross paths out there, do a little high five, and then wander around and be all like, this is
okay.
Sedona
So hold on.
Fest.
You guys haven't really met in person much before, or like kind of like this, like you rode by on a trail, or like this was the real first time of meeting in person.
This was like the first time of like actually acknowledging and like spending time. I think maybe we've crossed paths just like an event, like a sea otter or groups of friends together. And then my friend group was cooler than his friend group, so we weren't going to say hi properly. But outside of that, I don't know. Spencer, am I wrong on that?
No, I just don't have friends, so I don't have a friend group. So
Stop it.
That's
funny. We were throwing rocks at you like loser.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, it's crazy actually to think that. Joey Foresta was a perfect example. He's like, I didn't even know how you guys knew each other. And now this was the trio I didn't know I needed, was I think the exact words he used. So
and
I'll take that.
I believe that they were the exact words. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're running with it too. But yeah, dude. Yeah. James and I met for the first time. Well, kind of. We crossed paths for sure.
Yeah. But yeah.
Like, what do you guys have? Like, at least an hour? I mean, you had multiple days together in a sense, right? I mean, you were working, both of you, in it, right? No?
Kind of. I just showed up to the festival on Friday. So I was in Sedona all week. Thule. I'm an ambassador for Thule, and we did a media camp for some new stuff that they had showing up that's coming out in a couple weeks here. And then Norco Bikes did a little launch with them, Patagonia, Smith Glasses, and I feel like I'm missing one other, but I'm just associated with Thule. They had me out. They had 7 media guys, and I was in Sedona Monday through Saturday. I showed up, rolled into the event on Friday, saw James just that day, and then I did not return.
Yeah, because you guys were almost going to have a joint podcast bro down session there for a minute for episode 5.
Almost.
Almost. And I think we both were just like, there's no way, because we're getting pulled in so many different directions, obviously. There's no way that's going to line up. Yeah, technology is way better. We can just do it in the comfort of our own homes.
We're busy boys. We just pushed it.
I was almost wondering, is it like you guys in corners looking at each other? Were you going to put the screens in the middle and then just face each other? Or
honestly,
like battleships.
I would have been so down for that.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
I like that. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that kind of brings me on. So I was out. Well, you're out there doing a little bit of...
Well, hold on. First off, did it snow again?
No,
like,
I thought I seen a video that
there was
Joe Kittner was like hail, maybe a little rain.
Thursday when we were loading in, there was it started to sleet a wee bit, mixture of snow and rain for the viewers. This one's going to be a tough one, boys. I'll be honest with you, I'm exhausted. However, so there's a wee bit on Thursday, but Friday turnaround, I think there was a couple like cold spells for a wee bit, but it was awesome for sure.
Yeah, it was great weekend. Beautiful weather. We had with the media guys, Monday through Wednesday was absolutely epic. Thursday we saw that chance of rain, and then it was a beautiful morning. And then when we were going out for our afternoon ride, it started like mostly raining, but also like a little bit of snow, and up high you could see it was sticking. And I think people like Jill were freaking out, like not freaking out, but they were like, "Oh no, like
here we go again,
snow down us back."
I mean, it's
it's
fair to have PTSD because that place. It seems like every year they have some weird condition come through. Like hurricane and tornado are the only things, or an earthquake might be missing.
Yeah, it's just a tough time of year to hold an event, but they have to do it then. Yeah. March in Sedona and northern Arizona, like it's just rough, but you never know what you're gonna get. But honestly, it was sick. It was great. We ended up having, I think, like fantastic dirt. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I rolled out of there, but it was great. The vibes were high. It was pretty busy, I think, and yeah.
First time for both of you guys, or
no?
Second?
What? No,
you've gone a few times.
I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times I've been.
Oh
before,
wow, okay,
but,
you're a veteran.
Second.
I wouldn't say that, but yeah, it was a good old shit show. It was fun to see which vendors were there and who wasn't there, and kind of what was going on for sure. So yeah, I think it was a really good fest for the attendees, and they enjoyed themselves.
But for you, this was a different way of attending it.
Yeah. I wasn't there as a photographer. Yeah, I got a grown-up job. I'm a big boy now. I am super duper stoked. And can you like block this and then like share it with us so I can put this on Instagram instead of me going through the whole thing of like taking photos of myself with my bikes and everything? Anywho, yeah, so I'm super stoked to be working with or working for or what have you, the Rider Firm, which is a brand that owns both Hunt Wheels and Privateer mountain bikes. So I'm going to be I am the US mountain bike brand manager.
Sick.
For both of those brands. So we're super fortunate to have a super awesome dude out in California, Ken, who does the road wheels and gravel wheels for Hunt Wheels. I'll be doing the mountain wheels out of here in Colorado, and we're bringing Privateer bikes over here. So I get to, be the brand manager of that in all that capacity, working with athletes, working with the PR, doing some marketing stuff here and there, and just whatever. Just we get to launch Privateer, so super stoked on that. So yeah, I'm not going to be at the events as much anymore as a photographer. I'll be there at a number of them as my new role. So yeah. Did I sound grown up?
I mean,
okay,
you
good.
have insurance now. You got like, do you have a company car, a gas card? Like, what are we talking here?
They give me a credit card. I've got like a new laptop. No. I've got a salary that I get paid now, which is awesome. Every 2 weeks. I always used to make the joke about every 2 weeks. It must be nice to get paid. Now I do get paid every 2 weeks, and I got benefits. And the company, like, obviously, I'm going to say this because it's getting recorded, but the company really is a super rad company. The humans that work there are awesome, and everybody's just been like so welcoming. So I'm like on my back foot with my black heart and my black soul. I'm like, this is like the Truman Show or something. They're just going to start picking on me soon. But no, everybody's been incredible. So yeah, I'm super stoked at the opportunity.
With a little sprinkle in of home there too, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. We're a British brand and British company, so it's super sick. So I have like British vacation days, which is insane. So anyway, yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I'm just stoked at the opportunity to the Privateer, the new bikes, the Gen 2s. All right, I'm going to go into a sell pitch, so I'm going to be quiet now.
No, tell us, like, so are you making it rain with bikes out here? Like, am I getting a ride? Spencer's
Not even
getting a ride?
close.
What's up? Like, where's my contract? Like, do you need my address? Do you need me to send it? Like, what's up?
Just like everybody else's budgets. And I mean, like, yeah, no. You don't. No, we don't want people like you riding our bikes.
Oh fuck, man!
You're taking all the budget there.
Yeah. We want the cream of the crop out there. So no, it was sick to be out at Sedona and talking to a couple people and seeing where everybody was with their sponsorships and all that kind of stuff, and start looking at the next year for sure. Which I will segue because I've talked too much about this, but talking of new riders under changing titles. So Kyle and Rachel Strait were out there, and they did while we were out there. Ari Fezzari, Ari posted that they're the new riders, so it's awesome seeing those guys. So let's talk about Ari and Fezzari and Kyle and Rachel, and not me.
Oh,
I did it.
Yeah, man.
I just
We're
can't
segmenting
wait.
back to you though.
Yeah, for
eventually.
sure.
That's cool.
Yeah,
100%. I can't wait to be like Austin hit us up and be like, "Yo, pod Wednesday night, 6:00," and you're like, "Sorry, mate, we're doing fish and chips holiday or something. I'm taking
Fish and
today
chips
off."
holiday.
Yeah, we have those once a week.
How much
Exactly.
fish and chips do you eat? Is that true?
Okay, I'm the stereotype on this one that if I'm ever in a restaurant and they have fish and chips, I'm gonna order it. I know it's not gonna be that great, and don't get me wrong, there's been some incredible, but it won't be that great, and I'll be like, oh, why would I even order it? We're in America, blah blah. We're in Wisconsin, America, or something like that.
It might be safest in Wisconsin. You know?
Yeah, and so I do it every time. But yeah, no, it's a pretty good stereotype.
So like, okay, you guys have all met JJ, who used to work with me a lot.
Mhm.
It was wild. This dude just loved wings. No matter where we went, I could take that dude to the most fine steakhouse in the world, which he did love steaks, but he would still order fucking wings. He sampled wings from here to fucking France, like anywhere we would go. And it was like almost an insult. We would go somewhere that would just be special for that. Are you the same way where you're like, you know what? This is a fucking steakhouse, but give me your best fucking fish and chips, and you're just like rate it, or like where are you at on that?
No, I'm not good enough. I'm not a foodie whatsoever. If I could just take a pill and it gives me all my nutrients, I would do that. But I like to sometimes, especially after a couple of beers, just play up the whole like I'm British kind of thing. I mean, like my choice is if we're in any place, I'm gonna call out a Chili's. I'm gonna be like, I want to go to Chili's. I want Presidente margaritas. Let's not fuck around with this shit. So
Chili's, I love it.
So that's where my best ideas come from.
Do they have fish and chips at Chili's too?
No, of course not.
They don't.
No.
I didn't think
but
so.
they got
Okay.
Presidente margaritas, and that's all that matters.
Chili's is
survive on
supposed to
them.
be like lightly Mexican, isn't it? Like little
It is. It's
American Mexican.
Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty good. Yeah.
probably.
Anyway,
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Sorry, can we talk about that?
No.
all right. We can hit a little bit into that. I'm down into that. I mean,
Because we have our guest coming on soon. Have we
we
announced
do.
that
We
yet?
do. Well, then we'll save it. We'll save it for when he hits
Okay.
it. Yeah, we hit it. But I mean, okay. If you are new to bike, maybe, or haven't looked on social media and been tagged in this, Fizzari, a bike brand, changed its name to Ari, and I don't know. Everyone probably has different opinions on this, but I'm gonna be a little tough on it. Like, I feel like they took so much heat being called Fizzari, right? Like, and I almost feel like they just got past that. They got some pretty badass riders. They're crushing it. And then they go and change their name, you know? And it's like, it's a little weird to me because they're, I would say, maybe Specialized or Giant or Trek or in shops. These guys are direct to consumer. So their name is almost everything to where it's like, that's how you find it. It's not like you're browsing through a shop and catches your eyes, right? And then now it's like, oh, we're going to change our name, so you got to find us a different way. But I mean, obviously probably redirects to there, but it's like I'm a little confused on it. That's where I'm kind of at on it. You know, I don't know where you guys, I mean, hit it. I mean,
I know where I'm at on it. I think it's cool. I mean, like we're all talking about it. They made fun out of themselves and like that. Did you see that press conference video that they did?
No.
Oh, it's dope. And it's like, it's got so many like small like Easter eggs. I only picked up on a couple, but like one of the journalists there that was asking questions, he's got like on the back of his notepad, it says like 26 ain't dead and stuff like that. There's like little things. Yeah. There are people from, it's like Purple Bicycle or something is one of the people asking questions. So they poke fun at the bike industry. They poke fun at us, but
okay. So they're like, they get it, right? They're like,
they definitely get the joke of it and they're poking fun at themselves. And then also, I mean,
are they
shit, look at how many people are talking about it. Like, I don't know the background to the real reason for changing the name. I don't know if there is a real reason or anything, but shit, how many comments are on Pink Bike? How many we're talking about it? I guarantee you every other podcast done by middle-aged white dudes with anything to do with bikes is going to be talking
There's
about it.
There's like 1,000 memes about it now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's dope. Like, yeah. I think it's just a name, you know, like, yeah, you're right. We were established at knowing Fizzari, but no, it's just Ari.
All right.
Yeah, I'm kind of on both sides of this thing. Like, to be totally honest, I think we can get some answers and know somebody that can bring us these answers. So maybe we'll have to have him on board on the pod here pretty soon. But they are building momentum, and like you were saying, Austin, like they got some pretty badass riders, and they're getting more badass riders, and they're starting to become more of a name that you hear about, especially in the last 2 years. And while I don't necessarily always think from a brand / marketing perspective, it's a good idea to change the name. I will say, though, however, I think it's probably better now than it would be in 2 more years if they continue on the trajectory that they do, or that they are on. And that, I think sooner rather than later probably will play into this. Like James was saying, everyone's talking about it. Now they got Kyle and Rachel that are on their bikes, which will be huge, a big opportunity for them. And they're the first riders to be the big marquee RE guys. And we'll see. Only time will tell. I'm kind of excited for them. I had heard about this and I had known about it for a little bit before it was announced.
I think we all did.
Yeah. And that's why we had old Jacob Snow on here saying, I can't say anything.
Yeah.
Like, come on, brother. We know, but
we
anyways,
almost got him to say it.
Yeah, it's all good. But I don't know. We got something coming on.
Yeah.
Let's,
all right.
Let's bring him in.
Yeah, I think we tabled that. We hit it in a little bit. Yeah. We have a special guest tonight.
All of our guests are special. They're always special.
They're all special. All right. Let's join it in. Let's see what's up. Hold on. All right.
Hello.
Oh, shit.
We can hear it.
Up?
What's happening, man?
Yes. All right.
This is studio. Holy smokes,
damn.
dude.
You guys hear me all right?
This is insane.
Nice.
Oh, thanks, man.
All right.
Our
first guest, our only guest.
Everything good?
Yes, our only guest, episode 5. We have Normal Biker.
Mountain
If you haven't, Normal Mountain Biker. All right, we'll go with that. Yeah, MTB. Yeah.
God,
if you haven't seen him on IG, I don't know, you're fucking dead. I don't even know. Like, this shit is fire. And he says everything I feel like we all say for sure. Like that new hiker one, total dead spot on. They don't know left or right. They take shits on the trail. They fucking stand in the way. And you nailed it on that. I think Spencer knows you. Jamesy, do you?
No,
we've not officially met.
No, we haven't officially met. So good to meet you, mate. I'm just on your YouTube right now. You got 504,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man. That kind of caught us off guard too. That was over the last a year and a few months we were able to accumulate that. YouTube's pretty legit. If anyone is on the fence of doing YouTube videos, you should definitely do it. It's worth it.
Well, I definitely want to get into this because it's a conversation I'm having with a number of different people right now. And I do see the value because I watch a lot of car videos or something, and the value of what they can bring to the table on YouTube that you wouldn't be able to bring in any other kind of avenue, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's amazing, man. And the fact that there's so many people that are on there and it caters so well to different niches. If you're just able to stick to something, I mean, it's going to be really hard to not grow over time. So, yeah.
Dude, that's sick. All right. Well, do you want to kind of give us a run through of who? Sorry, Austin, I'm taking over right now.
No, do it. Seriously.
Okay. Sick.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Do it. Do your thing.
No, it's fine. It's
shit. All right. What? Okay. I feel like no one knows your name. Can we Sebastian? Is that cool? Okay, yes. Sorry, I already said it, but I'm just saying, it's kind of wild to think of this, I would say kind of an icon to me, right? Like, you're like a little bit of this icon that we all know on Instagram. I want to bring a little bit of, I honestly, okay, so everyone, we did I try to do with guests now, because we totally butchered it up with Jacob Snow, a pre-interview thing. Dude, we ended up talking for an hour and a half. I couldn't even believe it, which was totally wild to me, but there is that same guy that we see as this famous icon on there. You have personality as well besides that, which never mind. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is give us a little bit of a backstory of who you are and then we'll dig into some deeper questions.
Yeah, well, Austin, thank you so much for the kind words. I mean, that's very nice of you to say that. I appreciate it. And also, thanks for having me on the show, you guys. I mean, this is awesome to be here. And just wanted to start off by saying you guys are it's awesome what you guys are doing. Like I love the show so far. You know, the guests you guys have had. You know, some of my friends have been on there as well, and it's really cool that I'm on this as well. You know, getting up front, you know, first before you guys totally blow up, and then I can always come back.
Stop,
dude. I was one of the first OGs that were on the show, dude.
That's right, and we're happy to have you,
dude. Yeah, no, we're happier to have you than us. You know, the other way. I feel.
Oh, dude, I'm sure that's the roles are gonna switch a little bit at some point. So we'll see. You guys keep it up, and this is a great idea. So I've got full support on my end for you guys. I think this is awesome what you guys are doing. So.
So tell us, like you have a little bit of a BMX background, or like what like your bike thing? Just give me some. Hold on. No, you got something.
I just want to start from the ground level.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I kind of know because I've met you a few times now and talked to you at Sea Otter, but I feel like, to be totally honest, everybody knows you as a normal mountain biker. Some people know you as Seabass. I met you as Seabass, and I'm like, yo, no, what's your actual name, bro? And you're like, Sebastian.
Yeah.
That's what I want. But then, who are you? Where are you from? And then you can go into like your background on this. Like, I feel like everyone sees you as this funny guy on YouTube, Instagram, whatever, that can shred on a bike, and I mean, there's a little bit of a play on words. You're not the normal mountain biker. But I think what no offense, but I think what carries is that you also do shred, and you can hold your own and hold your ground, and that's what brings everything full circle, aside from the jokes and the funny skits and stuff that you do. Like, you also can probably smoke like most people.
Yes. I think, you know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago that may have been true, but nowadays I've definitely relaxed a bit on the riding speed and you know, kind of what I hit. But
whatever.
To answer your original question, I appreciate it, man. But, no, to answer your original question, I mean, my real name is Sebastian. That's, you know, that was my parents' birth named me. You know, I don't know what the term.
It wasn't normal mountain biker. I'm confused.
No, surprisingly, no, it wasn't. No, but I grew up in California, a little town called Novato, which, if anyone knows the Bay Area, which is the San Francisco Bay Area, I'm about 30 minutes north of San Francisco. That's where I grew up. I don't live there anymore, but that was my home for the first, 27 years of my life. And I had a great upbringing there. You know, it was an amazing place. Being a kid in specifically Marin County, which, if anyone's heard of Marin County, it's not very it's not known as being a poor place. Like, there's a lot of money there, and by no means I didn't grow up, this privilege, whatever, like none of that stuff. I grew up a very, very humble family. It was one of those things where it wasn't like, hey mom, I want these 3 bikes for Christmas, and I would get them. It wasn't at all that situation. And I had really great parents. They did an amazing job at raising myself and my brother Andreas, he's on the channel as well. He does a lot of the videos and stuff and filming and whatnot. We just had a really great upbringing. We grew up in a quiet neighborhood, I guess you could say, very suburban lifestyle. We kind of grew up riding with bikes with the kids in the neighborhoods. That's where originally I kind of got into the whole biking thing. I think our mom got us like one of those crappy little, those plastic ramps you can get like Target or Walmart or whatever.
That everyone's died off of before.
The X Factor ramps, dude. Those were my childhood.
And I actually think that, I think my dad kind of at a certain point was just like, hey, this is dangerous. And he actually built us, his own, like a ramp. He was, my dad's a construction, comes from a construction background. So he has, he had all the tools and stuff, and so he built us wooden ramps, and so we'd be in the front yard with all the neighborhood kids on our crappy old, like 20-year-old, I don't know, at some point, old bikes, that didn't fit us, way too big for us or way too small for us. And, we'd be sending lengths of like cars, like we would literally have I remember my grandparents would come and take care of us when we were still in school. While our parents were off at work. So they'd come over and they'd kind of babysit us. And I'd ask my grandpa to park his car parallel with the road, with the sidewalk. So what we would do is we would put one ramp, on the point on the front of his car. And then we'd see how far and how much speed we would need to clear the whole distance of his car. and that was kind of the origin stories of where biking came into our lives. And as you'd imagine, of course, there was a lot of injuries. There was
in the
several,
pavement.
yeah. There was a lot of skin was lost in those days from knees and arms and stuff. You know how it goes. And of
Dude,
course, back then.
I can relate to this. I can relate to this, man. This
yeah, for sure.
I'm sure we all have somewhat of an origin story like that. I think we all kind of come from a very similar background in that sense. But
nice.
Yeah, dude. I used to have this like Radio Flyer red little trailer wagon, I guess you would say, and me and my buddies would go fill up dirt at the lot down at the end of the street, roll it back to our house, and build rhythm sections or whoop sections on the dirt or like on the pavement, just right next to the sidewalk or whatever. And we'd just like do the same deal. We'd be hitting jumps or making whoop sections like the Supercross guys were, and we'd just rebuild it, reshape it, whatever. You're not losing too much dirt. It's spreading out. We'd eat shit and do the same deal. And then we had this guy that like monitored our neighborhood, and he would like cut the bushes and like keep the streets all clean. His name was Jimmy, and he would always get rid of the dirt. And we fucking hated Jimmy, dude. He always got rid of all of our dirt, and we'd have to go down and rebuild it, and he'd be all pissed off.
Damn it, Jimmy.
We would be pissed off. So anyways, I don't know. This whole deal just brought me back to my childhood. So
nostalgia, right?
Yeah, dude.
It's cool to think of thoughts like this, right?
The best days.
Yeah.
Nice.
I feel like to a certain extent, we have to keep those memories alive within ourselves, remind ourselves, at the, like, think back those days we were little kids and the struggles we thought we once had,
Dude, those were life or death struggles.
Yeah,
man. I don't know about you.
And it's like
Spencer's still having them struggles with dirt and getting his asses where he needs it.
Exactly. But now you went from there to what? To like BMX racing stuff or
no. What's funny is this is crazy, and people still to this day don't believe me when I tell you this. Like, so after the plastic, and wooden ramps in the front yard, after that saga of my life, for whatever reason, so back when I was a kid, my parents made a big point. They were like, they never bought new cars. Like I was saying, they lived very humbly, almost very frugal lifestyles. But the one thing that they always wanted for my brother and myself was they wanted us to be able to see, the world, right? So any kind of, we weren't the kids that we wouldn't go to Disneyland, right? It would be like, okay, we're going to go to, Oregon to go visit people we know over there. So you can see what Oregon's like, it'd be one of those kinds of things. Right. And at some point, my dad and mom bought like one of those old trailers, not a trailer, sorry, like an RV, right? Mm-hmm. And it was just super old, like Jan Sport or something. Not Jan Sport.
J-Sport.
Not the backpacks. No, sorry.
The backpacks.
Not the backpacks. It's like you guys have seen them before. It's like a super old RV.
Jayco.
Yeah, something like
like
that.
A Winnebago or something like that.
Yeah, like a Winnebago almost, right? Like one of those old, like super old.
I'm just thinking Super Troopers right now.
Yeah. But they got one of those, and I remember this thing. It was super, super old, and it was super janky. I don't even know how my dad was ballsy enough to drive that thing around. But they decided one year, they're like, hey, let's take the camper. Let's go up to Canada, and let's go look at Vancouver and that whole area. So we're like, okay. And at this point, I'm like maybe 9 or 10 years old, and my brother's about 7, 8 years old. And we have our little, crappy little bikes still, right? We haven't graduated to anything serious yet. And so we go up to Canada. It's a normal trip. We don't expect anything. We don't really know anything from Canada at this point. We just know that, okay, Vancouver's a nice city. We'll go check that out. And then we want to go to Squamish, and we want to go to, maybe out towards Kamloops or something, right? Check out all the national parks there, the Canadian parks. I don't know what they call them over there, but the national park equivalent of Canada over there. And so we do that. And then we come across this town called Whistler. We're like, oh, this is interesting. Like, this is a very cool little town. So we're walking through the village, through the Whistler Village. If you guys ever been there, it's like like a little town that's right, at the bottom of the slopes.
Yeah.
And so we're walking around and just being tourists. And then we come around a bend, and we open up to what is it called? The Garbanzo Plaza, where all the trails come down.
Yeah.
We come out to that plaza at the very bottom of all the trails, and we're A-line and all the slope style courses. And I remember, like, very, very vividly, I remember just looking up and be like, oh my God, like I could not believe it. I see these huge jumps, people are just sending it on these things and people are coming down on downhill bikes and all this cool stuff. And I was like, whoa, this is something I want to do. So of course, being a little kid, I was like begging my mom and dad. I was like, please, I want to do this. I want to do this. And long story short, yeah, we ended up taking a class, a little tour. We got some bikes. We got some Kona shreds. I don't know if you guys remember those.
Hell yeah.
The old Kona shred hardtail bikes, from way back in the day. And long story short, we ended up riding Whistler. And that was actually the first time I ever mountain biked was at Whistler.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's bold.
That is gnarly.
Yeah. Very, very crazy story. And I wish I was lying, but it was literally that epic. I was like, okay, yeah. So I was addicted instantly.
Yeah, straight into the deep end. Literally the best trails in the world.
Wow.
First ride.
Yeah.
Sick.
Did you retire after that? I mean, Jesus Christ! Like, just start at Whistler. Like, how do you go to any other park after that?
Yeah, it definitely stuck with me, man. And we didn't actually go back until several years later, to go ride it again. But yeah, man, that was the origin story of where mountain biking came from in my life. And from there, then I got into BMX. I never raced or anything like that. It was really just like going to the skate park, going to the local jumps, digging our own jumps and stuff. And that eventually kind of evolved to like, I came a lot from the dirt jump background, but then that just, after going to Whistler and after really starting to understand biking more and more, that kind of just morphed my brain into like, okay, now it's time for a mountain bike, and made it happen. And yeah, here we are.
That's sick. That's
years
super
later.
cool.
All right.
Kind of an unreal story. Like, you have a book coming out soon, or holy
I mean, if you guys want me to write a book, I'll write a book. Sure.
that's a gnarly, like, not many people start on mountain bikes at fucking Whistler.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Unless you're Jackson Goldstone.
okay.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
But that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
So you guys heard it here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
where did it go? Like, so did you start with, where did the name normal MTBer come from? And then like, what platform did you start that on? Where did that all come from?
I
Yeah,
got
for
questions
sure.
for this too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, for sure. I mean, really the origin stories of that was, it all started on Instagram. This is the first time I've said this story. So I'll just, I'll give you guys the synopsis of it. There's a lot of details that go into it. And obviously Spencer got no questions, but basically like what happened was during the lockdowns, the COVID lockdowns a few years ago, at the time I was working construction, and that was kind of my career path. And I had, worked my way up the ladder in that company, and got to the point where I was like, okay, this is looking pretty good. I could definitely do this for a long period of time and sustain myself and flourish or whatever. And then, the COVID lockdowns hit. And as soon as that hit, although the company I was working for was considered, what did they say back then? It was
essential.
Quote, essential workers or whatever, right? So we were, it was a solar company, so we were actually building solar systems on, anything from military bases to, rice fields to, I'm sorry, not rice, like farms and stuff like that, right? So we were considered essential because it's like the power of the grid and all that kind of stuff, right? And so the lockdowns hit. We kind of got to the point where, we didn't stop work, but it got really weird. Like the schedule wasn't consistent. I'd be home for like 2 weeks and then I couldn't go anywhere. And then I'd be gone for another 2 weeks or something. And then it would get shut down because some new variant went out or whatever, you guys remember how that was.
Yeah.
And so it was to the point where I was just at home with my brother. And at the time, my brother, he was also working for the same company as me as well. And we both simultaneously just like weren't working there anymore. And we're like, okay, well now let's do something else. Right. So while we're sitting at home, not allowed to go anywhere, we decided, okay, let's start Instagram. Cause I had a background in videography, back in my high school years. And I was like, dude, I'll film you. We'll get this stuff posted on TikTok. I'm sorry, on Instagram. And from there, we'll just kind of see what happens. Maybe we start a clothing line. Maybe we do, YouTube. I don't know. We'll see. Let's just see what happens. Right. And that's where we came up with the name Normal Mountain Biker, because my brother, he is a very like normal looking guy. So we wanted to kind of make a play on words of like, the bike industry is so serious. Like, let's make this a little bit more comedic of like, this is just a normal dude. And let's see, like this is the perspective of what normal people look like. And if you actually go on my Instagram account all the way to the very, very bottom, like the first 30 or so posts are just my brother.
Yeah.
Like I don't come into the picture. Yeah, I don't come into the picture until about 6 months into us like doing stuff. And we didn't.
Well, what was the switch? What made like what? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, the main thing was that there was a. I don't remember exactly what caused us to do this, but there was something that had happened where we were out like digging a trail somewhere, and I think my brother wasn't with me, and he was with me or something. I don't remember the exact scenario, but we decided, hey, let's film me instead for this video, and then let's just see what happens, right? And I was in the video. It was like a shot of me like hitting a jump or something, and we put some like super hardcore, like Suicide Boys music to it or something, right? like something intense like that, right? And next thing I know, we posted it, and this is right when Reels came out. Like Reels was a brand new thing. We were, it had come out maybe like a week or two before, this post, and we posted it, and like it blew up, and we were like, oh, this is weird. And then we started realizing like, oh, no one's ever seen a dude my size riding a bike like this. Like no one's seen this before. Yeah. So we were like, I was like, a spark kind of like lit up in my head, and I was like, oh, this is kind of an untapped market right here. Like let's do this. So we kept on posting just random things for like a few months after that, and we'd have like edits from like writing edits to some random comedy stuff. We were just kind of trying out a bunch of different things, and eventually the comedy stuff stuck. And now we're here continually.
So it wasn't just solid comedy the way it is now at the beginning. It was just like kind of shredded almost.
Yeah. No, it was like shredded photography. Like I'm pretty sure there's some posts of like some friends of mine on our channel too, like that aren't even affiliated with it at all today.
Wow.
It's like, and I haven't deleted any of that stuff. A lot of creators like they'll
clean that shit up,
clean themselves up, right?
Yeah.
But I haven't deleted anything. Like
that's sick.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Go, James.
Oh no, I'm just deep in the
You're
normal
deep in the
_MTBer Instagram right now. So anytime you see me looking up after, if our viewers are even watching, or as our guests or whatever, when I'm looking up to my left, I've got a screen there, and so it's not like I'm just looking at Tinder or whatever the fuck I could be looking at. But I'm like deep. I'm only 144 weeks back now, but you have like images of like bike check looking images, like good photography, that kind of thing. So yeah, this is dope. And the BMW. All right, sorry, I'll just like sit here and do this.
That's good. What? So okay, Spencer, you called him something else though, Sebastian.
Dude,
what was that?
He's struggling over there right now. Lights are off.
Yeah,
dude, what? I'm so sorry. Something just started like smelling weird, and dude, my ring light I think just took a dump on me. It's like
oh no,
super hot. Yeah, so I don't know.
Spencer's
Anyways,
out technical.
Yeah, we're just doing this super moody lighting now from now on. But
it's a good look. It's a good look.
Yeah.
Go with it.
Yeah, so I met Sebastian, normal mountain biker at TDS. Officially was it TDS like 2 years ago? Something
I think
like
it
that?
was. Yeah.
I think
like
I don't know. I'm kind of like in awe that this was just a COVID thing or like a lockdown deal. I didn't realize that there was not much of normal mountain biker before that, which is pretty sick. But yeah, I met him at TDS and he introduced himself to me as Seabass, and I remember I'm like, Seabass, like come on, like I didn't realize it was Sebastian or whatever, and I'm like, no, like what's your actual name? And he's like, it's Seabass, and I'm like, no, like your actual name. He's like, Sebastian. I'm like, oh, see, that's what I was looking for. But yeah, that was it. That's just kind of how I met him.
Okay, so it wasn't an Instagram name like Seabass before. I was like, was he doing construction shit with some Seabass? I don't fucking know. I'm like way confused right now on that.
No. Yeah,
that's wild.
To be totally fair with you guys, like the normal MTBer isn't the first time we've ever, or at least I've ever done social media. Back before years and years ago, like there was, I actually had another YouTube channel that was around car stuff. And I killed that channel. Like it did good. I just wasn't committed at the time. And like, I was like,
what type of cars? What are we talking here?
BMWs.
Okay,
dude, you can make so much more money in cars.
Yeah, I know. But
we're all idiots. Yeah. Jesus.
Deep, like
I'll probably start another cars thing at some point too. I mean, that's like cars at the core is where everything kind of started for me, as far as like my passion and dude things, you know. I mean, that's cars. Like I've been, you know, car guy forever, particularly like BMWs, Euros, and stuff like that. You know, and that's more of like a family history for me. On my dad's side, we're actually German, and my family grew up, like my family's hometown in Germany is a town called Mostenning, which, if you know where Mostenning is on the map, it's right next to Dingolfing, which is literally the home. That's where the factory for BMW is. One of the factories, it's the main factory, is in Dingolfing, which is about near Munich in Germany. So, I mean, we've got family that works at the factory, and you know, so we've had a very deep rooted, connection to the car world for a very long time in my family, and it just stuck with me. So
how many BMWs do you own? You get a discount? What are we talking here?
No, I have no affiliation with the brand at all. It's literally just I have some family that
not yet
work, you know.
Not yet. Yeah. Wow.
Not well. Yeah.
After this podcast, fuck, you're gonna blow up. It's fucking over.
So speaking of getting sponsored and stuff, when did that start? When did you start making connections, and where did Specialized come into play, or whoever was first or whatever? Like when you guys obviously blew up in whatever that was, 2021 or 22 or whatever, and then you start really getting traction, and now your videos are shared by like everybody, and in every group chat of the bros or whatever, people are sharing in their story, myself included, frequently. When did people start reaching out? Because influencers or whatever, ambassadors have kind of been a thing and continue to be a thing, but there aren't too many people outside of like Seth's Bike Hacks and what's Skills with Phil, like those types of guys. There haven't been too many like non-racers, like kind of comedic guys, or you are a comedic guy, but when did that all start happening?
Yeah, I mean, from I wouldn't say from day one, but early on, we were always kind of interested in being like, oh, it'd be great to ride for this company, or
of course,
I want to represent that product. And we always kind of wanted that because we always thought it was cool, because we grew up watching racers like
of course,
Quinn, Greg Minnar, all those guys, right? So they were all my idols growing up, and so it's like to be able to ride for some big name company is like ultimate dream level stuff, right? And at first we were just like, nah, dude, no one cares about this. I remember when we hit like 15,000 followers on Instagram, we were like, dude, imagine like having like 50,000 followers one day, and having like sponsors want to talk to us. And like literally, like after I had that thought or conversation with my brother, like maybe a week later, I don't want to say his name like online, just to respect his privacy.
Yeah.
I know who you know who this is.
You're good.
But a contact at Specialized, who's very, very well known in the world, reached out to us, and he was like, "Hey, I love what you guys are doing. Sent me a DM and all the whole 9 yards. He's like, do you guys want to have, do you guys want to represent Specialized?" And to summarize the conversation, obviously, and we I'd been riding Specialized bikes for forever and ever. I mean, that was literally the first real bike I ever had was a Specialized. It was a hard rock. The first real mountain bike, like true full suspension bike I ever had was a stump jumper. It's like, then I had my first downhill bike was a demo. So it was like perfect. Like everything just worked out perfectly. Right. And, wow. And ever since then, we've been repping Specialized, and obviously we had a bunch of other brands we work with, One Up Racks and Heatwave Visuals, and
of course.
And here and there we'll work with like Cushcore or Better Bolts, and a bunch of miscellaneous other companies. But yeah, I mean that's kind of that's kind of the story. So
Specialized was number one. That is pretty sick.
Yeah.
That is awesome, man.
Yeah, and I want to give them more of a shout out here. At the time that they reached out, we were still very, very small. Like there was, I think we maybe had like 15 to 20,000 followers at the time on Instagram, and
hey, easy. That's not small. That is
no.
That's
Spencer. Call that a micro
when he said the
influencer.
50,000 thing, Spencer was like, "Fuck."
I'm not trying to insult anybody, please.
No.
Spencer's gonna cry after the light is gonna blow
That's
up.
all right though.
Relatively speaking, I'll just put that. I'll throw that in there.
He's like, those are peasant numbers.
Yeah.
He's like, that's my backup Instagram account.
Oh man, no.
Shit.
See, now I feel bad for saying that.
No, come on, don't.
No.
We got thick skin.
We'll give Spencer a minute or two, you know?
Yeah,
Fuck.
they're just picking on me, but it's true. It's I get it. But I keep going. What you're saying.
Rule number 1 in life: all your social media followers is the most important thing you could ever accomplish.
He's like, I only follow people with X amount of followers.
Yeah, sorry, Spencer. I'm unfollowing you, man.
Oh, fuck.
So now
Untrue.
we got,
Untrue.
49.9. We're under.
Ruin him.
No,
Ruin him.
they say comparison is the thief of joy. So can't be doing that. But anyways, keep going.
Oh no! I mean, what was the question? I totally forgot. You guys got me.
Okay, so
here.
were you writing specializes before you got the specialized deal? Like on the
that's what he
videos?
said.
No, I'm saying like in the videos. Those ones.
No.
There's definitely some YTs.
No,
Okay.
It's
Jancy right now.
Yeah, so I had at the time the bike that we started off with was the YT Capra. That was a bike that was in the first few videos. It was the blue and white bike. Then I also had a YT 2S or 2s or however you say it. It's a downhill
2S.
bike.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean they were great. I did have some problems with the Capra. They fixed that. That was the known issue they had a while back, but that wasn't really. It didn't affect anything.
But you made a series of reels and it blew up, or
No, luckily it wasn't just me. It was something that a lot of people had, issue with them. But no, I mean, I'm not trying to talk bad about YT at all. Like they're a great company. I mean, they make amazing bikes.
No, we get it. Every bike brand has a fucking recall. Jesus,
everyone has
like
It was just time
I don't
to,
even know if it's a recall for YT, but yeah.
It was. I think it was a recall. I don't want to misspeak or put words in their mouth or anything. But like, it was like the frame broke and the piece had to be replaced, and apparently it was something that a bunch of other bikes had. It was they fixed it. They're fine now. The bikes are great.
James is going to get used to this information soon. He'll have the real details. He's a brand manager now. So,
nice. I'm growing up. I know. Yeah, never mind. Okay, yeah, I'm still watching. I'm watching your videos on your Instagram right now. This is awesome.
How tall are you? Because I feel like go.
No, I'm about 6'4".
Oh shit, you're a big fella.
Yeah. I mean, like, what? Basketball wasn't an option. Football, like, what's going on here? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, so my mom never wanted me to play football. That was square one.
Yeah,
I wanted to, trust me, man. Like we'd have like coaches. I'd be in like middle school or something, and at the middle school that I went to, like the local football team, the not adult league, but the grown up kid league. They would play at that school, and like the coach would literally come over to me.
See you walking across the yard, like, that's the fucking guy we need.
We're putting you.
They'll make a movie about this in 20 years.
I know, seriously. Like, what the fuck?
No, that was literally my experience, and it wasn't just football. It was like we had basketball coaches coming up to me. Wrestling coaches like.
This dude had a scholarship at 8th grade offered to him, never even played. They were like, fucking, we need you.
Yeah, no, I mean, seriously, it really is like that actually is the real deal. Like, I played water polo as well. That was my thing in high school. Yeah. Yeah, so I was a water polo player.
And then he's like, that's why they changed the regulations of how deep the deep end is for water polo people because of you or what? I mean,
hey man, I gotta throw this out there. Like water polo in particular is a very rough sport for sure. What? Obviously, you get whacked in the face and stuff, but it's not that bad playing with dudes. You have to worry about playing with girls. They are fierce, man. They don't care at all, dude. And like, imagine you're in a pool, you're floating, right? All you're wearing is a swimsuit, a little helmet thing, right? And you've got like girls who are wearing the same thing you're wearing, except with the top, obviously, right? Wasn't that cool, but
Which water polo were you playing? Shit. He's like in 6th grade.
Yeah. But no joke, like the whole like PDA type thing, or not PDA, sorry, SA, like sexual assault, it does not apply to women apparently in polo. So like you'll be like playing, right? And you're like, I'm afraid to touch them because I'm like, I don't want to get a case, and I'm like, like I'll just touch your shoulder. Okay, that's enough, right? But then like they're like underneath, like grabbing your balls and stuff, and like,
getting kicked there,
like punching you and shit. I'm like, oh my god,
I'm just here to survive.
Yeah. So I come from that brutal background of water polo, but that was it. I mean,
I've never heard this. I'm sorry, the water polo being gnarly. I'm kind of blown away. No, I didn't know that it was like. Is this the rugby of the water? Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? Like, how gnarly,
dude? Water polo is cutthroat.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you could fucking drown. I mean, but
and you're like hitting each other in the water. Yeah.
I didn't know. I had no idea. I'm sorry. I'd blown away.
I've never met a water polo person before, so my world is getting blown on a number of different levels right now.
What are those helmets called? What are the water polo? Do they have a name?
I don't even know. I played it for like 15 years of my life. I have no idea.
Oh, I thought they had a name. I just wanted to know.
15 years? What?
Yeah, a long time. I started when I was like pretty young. That was like simultaneously in the biking world. Like it was water polo and biking. That was kind of my two things.
You're kidding. Wow.
This is fucking wild.
Yeah, I don't know. I played before high school, all through high school, and I think a little bit after high school as well.
Could you just fucking imagine the football coach and you telling him, "Oh no, man, I'm just serious about water polo right now," and he's just like,
real busy.
Do you get a fucking scholarship for that? Like, is there millions? Is there a Super Bowl? Like, what the fucking?
Sebastian could probably touch the bottom, dude. He was just standing there.
They're
walking.
Fuck them all.
I'm like 5 feet tall in high school, just barely swimming, and Sebastian's just, "What's up, guys?"
Yes,
got this, dude. It's called a water polo cap.
Oh,
so
okay,
it's not even got a cool name. What the F, guys?
So I mean, like, I feel like people that are above 6 foot cannot fucking have style on a bike. I don't know what it is. I mean, Vanderpool a little bit, but like they don't have style.
I was about to say Menard.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, but it's rare. More rare.
Kyle's straight too. But boy,
is he above 6 foot? How tall is he?
Yeah, Kyle's. I think he's every bit of 6'1", maybe 6'2" or something.
Okay, at
he's
6'4",
he's taller than me, I think.
I don't see much style from guys like that, and I feel like was that something you more practiced on when you rode, or was it just like it came more natural?
Well, I definitely tried. I still try to this day to be very stylish. I would not consider myself a style connoisseur by any means. I feel like I'm a squid for the most part, but no, one of the people I grew up watching a lot was Sam Hill. You know, I'd watch all of his World Cup races and stuff like that, and like not just him, but I always loved his riding style, but also like Matt Miles. If you guys know Matty Miles, Matt Hunter, Sylvia Films for back in the day. That's super, super OG. But their videos were so iconic to me. And I've literally told Matt this in person, both Matt Hunter and Matt Miles in person. I was like, dude, the only reason why I'm mountain biking is because of you guys. And like, it's like, it's cool to know those guys now. But the video, like their style, their videos just motivated me so much to be like, that's a jump. I can go straight over it, or I can just like get a little sideways, and that was really kind of where the style kind of, started from, I guess you could say. Like, I just really wanted to be Matt Miles and Sam Hill and Matt Hunter and like all those guys.
Yeah.
And now you have more followers than them on Instagram, and they're asking you for advice.
So I remember when we met, you were like pretty fired up to like meet everyone and stuff, and you were like super stoked. Now you're more than, I mean, I kind of feel like this is the same kind of topic that we were covering with Braden Bringhurst a little bit last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was. But how was it meeting everybody and then not just meeting everyone, but now like not just meeting everyone as a fan, but now meeting all of these people as someone that is at the same level with them or whatever.
It's called a peer.
A peer, yeah. Okay.
Uncultured F.
Yeah. So
wait, when did you meet them? Did you meet them this age, like as normal biker, million followers, or?
It's interesting because like I'll start off by saying that like there's that phrase "never meet your heroes."
Yeah.
I think that's mostly BS. Like I think that really only applies for like I don't want to say any specific names, but I think that's for like the really like the Kim Kardashians of the world,
Yeah, for sure.
But
like big name sports guys, I will say. Like, mountain bikes.
But even then, like so many, I hear stories of people who know like these uber celebrities, and like there are a lot of people who are really, really cool. So I think that doesn't really apply that much. I think it applies less than it does, if that makes any sense. Meeting, like being on the side of the fence that's watching the race and then being on the other side and actually, hanging out with the people is a totally different world. It really is. And that's one of the things that I kind of was not really, I was kind of caught off guard by that. We have, as a fan of a sport or an artist or a musician or whatever it might be, you see that, you see them through a certain lens. And then when you get beyond that lens, it changes so much, because now it's like you can actually have a conversation with this person rather than just seeing them on your phone or on a TV or something.
Yeah.
And that's been a very real thing, over the last few years with myself. And going back to Spencer, what you were saying, I was really, being really stoked about meeting everybody. I still am to this day, being able to hang out with guys that, I was looking up to for the majority of my life growing up, really saw them as, role models and heroes in a certain sense. Right. And now being like a perfect example, Kyle Strait, it's like he's a homie of mine nowadays. I grew up watching him setting Rampage and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. This last year I'm at Rampage, hanging out with him while he's just drinking a beer there, waiting to get, called up the podiums or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, what? Yeah. It's, just chatting with him and stuff. And it's like, okay, and I call these, I consider these people my friends now. So it's like, it's a very strange world, I guess you could say. It's a very strange world. I still haven't fully processed any of it. I'm just going along. I'm just taking everything in that I can, trying to be as positive about everything as possible. And just hoping to continue just trying to live up to my own personal, what I believe people expect out of me too. It's like, that's another side to it as well.
Yeah. I think you're doing a good job of keeping it positive. Obviously. I mean, just listening to you, it's pretty sick, and it's pretty infectious too, if I'm being totally honest, just with how fired up you are about everything. But also I think that mountain biking as a sport caters to this very well, as opposed to like a NBA or a Formula One or some even Supercross for that matter. Like this there isn't so much of an elitist mentality within the athletes and stuff. Yeah. And I think that's what one of the things that's super special about mountain biking is, just because we're one way or the other, we're doing the same thing. And then when I watched your video a couple days ago where you went to some free ride thing up north. I forget what it was called. A Red Bull event where you were literally, what's it called? What's the event called?
There's Proving Grounds.
Proving Grounds. Exactly. Yeah. And you were meeting T-Mac or something for the first time. And you're like, holy shit, this is T-Mac or something like that. And then the next clip was you guys just chatting or whatever. And you're like, what? This is so cool. Yeah. I think that is something that's super specific to mountain biking, and it's, I'm pretty proud to kind of be involved with a sport that has a very welcoming. I mean, there are some
non-welcoming people.
As with anything, I'm watching your videos now, and I'm like, oh, I was out there shooting. How did we not hang out there at that Proving Grounds? I was shooting that one for sure. Yeah, anyway, I'm in one of the videos. Anyway, no, I think that's something that we can always kind of go back to as well. Sorry, Spencer, I'm cutting you off before you just start naming people that are unsavory characters in the bike industry.
Now, I love it.
But
I love it right now.
No, I'm a huge fan. I mean, that's the whole thing when it comes down to it. And the same Seabass with your stories of when you're growing up with your mates building those ramps. That's what me and my best mate Ian used to do. And then we'd pull them back, and so. That's something that I think we need to be carrying on as stewards of the sport nowadays in whatever capacity, whether you're an athlete, videographer, what have you, is just remembering that we are just big bloody kids. We're not curing cancer. And that's why the industry is such a beautiful thing, is I feel majority of us now, and for better or worse with social media, I'm not the biggest fan, but I do think that one of the good things is that people will call out shitheads on social media. So now even the shitheads need to be a little bit nicer and whatnot, which is hypocritical or whatever. But all that being said, it all is about the community that we've got in this mountain bike industry and cycling as a whole, But So looking through all your stuff now, I'm just going to keep talking until a question comes out. I got to pay my rent through this podcast, so I don't want to get cut off of it.
Don't count on it, man.
But yeah, so it's obviously like all your videos and everything is just making fun of yourself, making fun of all of us, right? Trying to like have fun out there. What is the most memorable? What's the most memorable video, whether it hit good, whether it was just something that was really close to your heart? What's your favorite one you've ever put together?
Now, this is like, before I say my answer here, I will preface it by saying that I've actually had that question asked before, and I've definitely said different answers every time.
Nice.
So for anybody who's out there fact checking me and calling BS on what I'm saying,
but you're always doing new things, so it's fair to say that, right?
What feels good now, right?
Yeah.
There's not going to be much consistency here. I will say this, as far as we've had so many like really cool videos and projects that we've done that we've been very blessed to be able to travel to this part of the country to do this or go do that with that person, and we've had a really great time overall doing everything. The one that really stands out to me because of its being so negative is when I did the No Handlebars video. It was a short video on Instagram. It was the Flowbots.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? The Flowbot or
Flowbot. Yeah. What's missing?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
So that video, none of it was faked. It was actually me riding without handlebars, and it was extremely challenging to do. It was one of the most difficult like bike things I've ever done, just because like finding the right spot took us several days. Once we found the spot, the weather had to be good. It couldn't be windy because obviously when you don't have the handlebar, you can't control your front wheel. So it couldn't be windy, and then on top of that, we needed to make it look convincing enough to get views. And then there was the final thing of like actually doing it. And the doing it part was the most frustrating thing ever, because we were out there for many hours and many, many different takes. And not just doing it, but also filming it was really hard. It just looks like, it's a camera following, but what you don't realize is that the road is kind of bumpy. It's very narrow, and there was cars coming. So we had to like get the shots where there was no cars behind us or in front of us. And so we would get like, I would be able to do one run, right? And it's downhill. That's another thing you can't see in the video. It's downhill, so you're gaining speed as you're going.
Oh, yeah. No, I was going to make a comment about that. You can tell it's downhill, yeah.
Yeah.
That looks gnarly.
That could have catered to keeping the wheel straight a little bit too, though.
Yeah, it definitely did. It helped out a lot, and that's kind of why we chose that spot, because we wanted at least a little bit of a run up. Because if it's totally flat, you can't hold speed, right? So we needed a downhill.
Yeah.
But that spot, there's a barbed wire fence on the left side, if you guys can see that. There's also one on the right side. So it's so long story short, it just took us many, many hours to do that. It was very frustrating, because when I was finally able to do it, it was like, oh, the shot was missed. Oh, you weren't in the shot perfectly. It was like, oh, damn it, let me do it again then. You know, and so it was like try after try after try after try for hours, and then we finally got a shot that worked, and we were like, all right, screw it. That's it. I'd say, because usually I like to be like, if we're doing a video or something that's important like that, I want to get multiple good shots rather than just like one and then call it a day. So we were like, that was a rare occurrence where I was like, all right, we got the shot. Let's do it. Let's go. I'm done. I'm done with this shit. Like, let me get home, But but it came out good, and I'm happy with kind of how it turned out. So yeah.
That's sick. That's super sick. There's two that really stand out to me when I'm thinking of your videos and stuff, and one of them is that's pretty funny. One of them is the one up April Fool's one. That one,
the 2 down.
The 2 down, exactly. That one's awesome. And then the one where you're sitting on you come up to like a coffee shop or something, and you're sitting on the dropper post. And
Oh yeah, that was good.
So
I remember
much
that one.
fucking gold on that one.
Yeah, I don't know why, man.
That was our first truly. Yeah, that no seat video, that was our first truly viral video, and I reposted it recently. Yeah, oh yeah. Like we had other videos that had gotten pretty well, a few 100,000 views prior to that, but that one that one was insane, man. Like that grew our channel quicker than any other video ever before. And
wow, really,
it got, just on our page alone, it got like 30 something million views. Then it was crazy, and it got reshared like hundreds of maybe thousands of times, right, by big pages. Like I'd find, I'd be most of the time they don't tag you, which really pisses me off. But, they would take the video and then, like for example, this is some French rapper. I don't listen to his music, but some French rapper. This dude who has like 15, 20 million followers on Instagram. One of those big accounts, and like he took my video and put his own thing over it, and acted like it was his own video, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck, bro? Like, sorry to swear, but I don't know.
No, we can swear. We can swear.
Well,
have you not been listening?
That actually kind of leads me into. I was going to ask you something about the negative side of this whole thing, but first and foremost, how did you handle that situation? Like using that as an example, will you go after people?
No. I won't.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Good
I
for
don't
you.
go after anybody. No, I mean. Because at the end of the day, the way I look at it is like, yeah, they can take my content, but at least that's still my video getting promotion.
Yeah.
That's still my name, my face, getting out into the world. I have changed the way I do videos. Like if you notice in a lot of the videos, I try to have my own sponsors, like the Heatwave hat or, shirt or something, specialize in it, or my own brand, like my own shirts with my own brand in it, just so that like when people do take the video and reshare it, which happens every day, probably thousands of times, at least, then something about me is out in the world that's not my face. It's like, my face, being out there is great. But with that particular video with that French rapper, he ended up getting like 100 million views on the video. Like some random Facebook accounts got like also tens of millions of views, I think total, I stopped counting views on that video because so many pages shared it. I stopped counting views at about 400 million views on that video.
Jeez.
And I was just, at that point, I was just like, whatever. And to this day, I still see it popping up, here and there. And it still has like random accounts, that have like 10,000 subscribers that are like, just, funny repost accounts. And all of a sudden it's like you'll have like 10,000 views, 10,000 views, 10,000 views. And there's like 5 million views and then 10,000 and 10,000. It's like, okay, I gotta see what it is. But,
well, and then my other question was going to be, so we can always talk about different publications and their comment sections or different, and just social media as a whole. Do you, it seems like most of your comments and stuff are pretty, I would hope that they're all positive, but do you ever get the negatives? And do you mess with that? Or do you just like, all right, what the fuck ever? Just
yeah, I definitely do get negative comments. I'm very fortunate to, for the core audience, for the people who really actually, see what we do and care about what we do. Shout out to all you guys who are watching. I never get any hate really, I mean, that's, and particularly from, on platforms like, Instagram is great. I mean, there's really very little negativity on that platform towards me. YouTube is great too. The platform I do have a lot of problems with, with hate is on TikTok. And a lot.
Well, you don't have to worry. It's supposed to be gone now. If you haven't anyone seen that new thing.
I think it still has to be voted to be shut down.
Oh, it got past the votes.
Yeah, no, the House passed it today.
And then I think,
really?
It's supposed to get.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Has to be sold or something. I don't know.
Either if they don't sell it to a non-Chinese company, then it's done.
Wasn't this the same thing like a couple of years ago, and then someone bought it or?
No, it didn't pass the bill, but it passed today, and then Biden's supposed to sign it like tomorrow or something. It's supposed to be pretty fucked.
Wait, really? So going back, so TikTok is a place of
toxicity,
hate, a lot. Yeah, a lot.
Really?
Is it? You think it's because it's like this younger generation? Because I feel like that's kind of what it is, right?
Yeah, it's definitely like when you pull up, when you click on the comments of people who are talking smack or whatever, like. You pull it up and it's usually like a 13-year-old and you're just like,
yeah.
Those fucking Call of Duty kids, they're fucking aggressive, man.
Yeah. It's, they sit and play Fortnite and, swear to their friends on Fortnite. I think they can just talk to people on the internet like that too. It's like,
that's really
I'm kind of blown away. Yeah.
I get more negativity on Instagram 100% for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Than TikTok?
Yeah. TikTok, I don't know why. I mean, I'm not doing much on TikTok anymore. Like, my account seems to be pretty.
You don't
dead.
have to worry about it anyways. It's gone now.
Dude, I've always had like crazy good support on TikTok, and then on Instagram, I don't get too many like super negative comments. Every now and then, when I do things, I'll get like comments, but I get I get DMs.
Yeah.
I get DMs from people that are like,
what?
Ripping me all the time. Yeah, like
Really?
constantly. Yeah, it's
I've
super
had that.
interesting.
Yeah.
The way Seabass looked at it, really? I never get that. I was like, really?
No, but that's cool. That's great. That's awesome. I love to hear that because I feel like there's so much of that. Much of
person
it.
to think, like, what did you do to trigger people? Like,
I can give you a perfect example of one of mine talking about Carl and Rachel. I was shooting Straight Acres for Pink Bike, I believe it was. This is a number of years ago. And she just got the Bronco. Rachel just got the Bronco sponsorship, which included a helmet sponsor. I don't know how it came out, but she had Bronco down the side of her helmet. And I was like, oh, shit, yeah. Like, because when we shoot for these publications, we obviously know like the athletes and stuff, and we know how the game works. Like, we want to make sure that if Tyler McCall is driving his Bronco, he's a Bronco ambassador. If we can snap a shot of that and like put it somewhere, then that helps him out and yada yada. Mm-hmm. So that's my mindset with Rachel. Well, it was a 3/4 from behind shot, and she was going over a berm, or like not a berm, I'm sorry, like either a pump, or she was like doubling or something like that. It doesn't matter. The point is, so it was kind of half behind, and I was like, and it was 2:00 in the morning, and I'm writing captions, and I can't think of anything else. I was just like, that helmet, though, trying to bring attention to the helmet. Well, then in the comment section, I guess it starts kind of like not blowing up, but a couple of people were like, that's such a male chauvinist pig comment to make, because they were all assuming I was talking about her ass. And I wasn't. I genuinely was like, okay, if we can get her helmet some focus, that means she's going to be stoked. Her sponsors are going to be stoked. She'll hire me again to take photos next year for this event. Yeah, that's how my brain works. And then I get all these DMs from these ladies in around the country, around the country, Canada and America. And they were just like, you fucking piece of shit. Come on, man. It's not the 1990s. It's not the 1700s and shit like that. I'm just like, and I just don't interact with anybody that's negative on that kind of stuff. I'm like my friends know me good enough to know that I'm not anything like that. And so I was just like, all right, you guys believe what you want to believe about me. I don't give a shit. So I don't interact with negative comments, but that was a good one. I'll still bring that one up to Kyle and Rachel as well when I see them. That helmet, though.
I have a similar story actually to that, but I will save it for another time.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, fuck that one video we did with the fire, with the fucking burned down trailer.
Oh, that's one, dude.
I mean,
I've got a laundry list of items where I've just gotten like people creating Instagrams that are titled "You Better Learn Fast" because I'm filming in certain place, or God forbid, I put my front tire on a crosswalk for, you know, like the buttons you hit to crosswalk, whatever, freaking cross the street.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I hit a road bike, like I wheelied into it on a road bike, tapped it or something. And dude, that video like went like semi-viral, and holy smokes, the people that came after me for doing that, for how dare you put that dirty tire on this thing that people have to
Dudes
touch.
in LA are fucking pissing on those things.
Kicking it like, dude, are you kidding?
Can I just ask, was that in California?
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah.
They have no right to say anything.
Exactly.
They have no right to say anything over there. As an ex-California native myself, shame on you. Are you Spencer?
Are you not in California anymore?
No, I left. I'm out of California. Yeah,
I'm out.
I didn't know that. Where are you?
We got out.
Yeah. No, so like I was saying, I grew up in the Bay Area. And,
yeah.
I actually left a few months ago. I live in Nevada now. Yeah.
Oh, no way. Where are you? We can say this offline.
Whereabouts?
Yeah, what's the adrass?
Okay.
Let's start with a zip code.
I need to come into the studio.
We're going to pull up right now.
Yeah. No.
Zilla, how much his house is worth?
Yeah. No, it's definitely a lot cheaper than in California, I'll tell you that. But no, I'll just stop talking smack.
No, we're okay with it. We all, I mean, well, not all of us.
Okay, thank
but,
God,
yeah.
because I couldn't stand living in California anymore. I'm sorry. I love California. It's my home forever and ever. It'll never not be my home. But
yeah,
I couldn't. I can tell you guys a story here in a second, but I live in Reno, to answer your question.
Cool.
Sick. So, yeah, perfect location, man. I love it here. It's 25 minutes from the Lake Tahoe area.
Yep.
You know, a couple hours from Salt Lake, a couple hours from Vegas. You know, Mammoth Lakes is super close. Perfect
couple
area.
Hours.
You know, and I can get back home to visit my family. You know, within 3 hours time. So
yeah.
So it's
and gas is cheaper probably. So
It is. It's about $1 cheaper right now here than in California.
Crazy.
Just stop. Just stop.
Yeah, I spent some time at my buddy's house in Reno. This last year, as I broke my hand at TDS. I don't know if you remember that, and I spent a couple weeks with my buddy that lives at the bottom of Mount Rose and rode and trained. And dude, there's some great riding in Reno. It's kind of slept on, and there's some brands going there. Liat, I think, has a office and warehouse there. Worldwide Cyclery has a warehouse. There, right? Yeah, exactly. And there's
Census is out here too.
Census, Zinc stuff.
Yeah.
Which, super sick. It seems like they got a lot of the right things going on, and they're putting in cool flow trails. Like,
are they?
Yeah. What's
really?
What's the one on the backside of Rose? I'm drawing a blank on what it's called.
Tyrolean.
Yeah, Tyrolean. That one's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And it's like full legal kind of jump trail. Nothing huge, but it's sick. But man, that's cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
So
sorry, go for it. My bad.
Well, I guess all right. So then, how much do you get to ride? Like, are you really actually riding a bunch, or are you more having to do so many videos and content? You know?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I definitely don't ride as much as I'd like to. One of the things that's kind of become a reality for me nowadays is, we're doing so much work, and now we got a lot more responsibilities. We've got like the studio that you see here, like all the bikes, the sponsors, videos. You do YouTube, TikTok, everything. We're pretty much on every major platform, and we're adding a bunch of other stuff to it as well. On top of that, we have our own merch that we're always working on, and just all the background stuff that we just don't show on videos, right? Unfortunately, nowadays, I don't really have that much time to do very many things. If I'm lucky, I'll ride like once, twice a week, maybe, actual ride to like go and ride a bike and work out and have fun. I end up to work out, I end up just I have a little gym here at my house, and I'll just do weight training and stuff like that. Because it's like, also right now it's winter, so, everything above, a few thousand feet elevation is all covered in snow right now. So I can't really ride most of the trails here, but I don't know if that answers your question, but unfortunately nowadays I wish I could ride more, but I just can't.
So you're on
right now.
Zwift as normal mountain biker or Seabass. That's how we'll find you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who is your team? Like you were talking about your brother earlier. Is it still just you and your brother, or do you have a bigger team helping out?
Yeah. So it's myself and my brother. We're more day-to-day activities. Then back home in the Bay Area, I actually have one of my closest friends, Matthew. He's he doesn't like being mentioned on anything, but I'm saying the name. Sorry, Matt. But
give him his flowers, man. He deserves it.
Yeah.
Which I think Spencer. I think you've met him at some point. I think
I definitely met. I definitely met him, and I met your brother. Your brother was with you at TDS for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's back home. He works from home. He helps us out with a lot of the backstage stuff, finance related, business related, anything. I mean, he's a huge asset to everything we do. So we've got ourselves pretty locked in. I mean, as far as it's not just, we'll go out and film some videos and call it a day. It's like, no, there's a whole business behind everything that we do. And so it requires a lot of management and a lot of upkeep. So it's just the three of us, myself, Matthew, my brother. So
that's super sick.
That's our team right now.
And then how is the relationship and everything with your brother? I mean, I kind of know, and I've seen it in person, and everyone, whether they realize it or not, sees your brother constantly in your videos. Like the hiker one, for instance, he's the one riding. And I feel like you guys are just switching the camera, like, okay, you film me, back and forth. But working so closely with your brother is like pretty cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's great to have, business partners and all that kind of stuff. I mean, if you have people that you can trust and rely on, that's golden when it comes to business. I mean, above anything else, having people that you can trust is probably the most important thing to me. And obviously I can trust my brother, we come from the same blood, there's no reason why he would ever snake me for anything. And so I can very confidently go into a situation and assume that he's not only going to have my back, but I'm going to have his back, and we're going to get through it, up, down, thick and thin, it's like, we're going to get through this together. So I think that's a really important thing. Family's really important to me. And I know that a lot of people say, don't get into business with your family, but I'd say that's total BS. I think that if you have a problem with your family and you get into business with them, it's probably because one or all of you guys have an ego that you guys got to shut down and put aside.
Case by case.
Yeah,
Case
and
by case.
forget about your childhood for a little bit and look into the future. You know, I think that's
No, yeah, no, I support everything you're saying. Did you ever hear about Dane Cook and his brother? His brother took like
money, though,
okay,
right?
this is
took all the money. Right?
he took I mean he's in prison now or something like that. But anyway, so sorry, I like to bring the negative side.
No, tell us about it.
It is.
Oh no, he just like he trusted his brother, and I'm not saying anything. He trusted his brother.
Yeah,
it just
way too much.
It just reminded me, and he was just like Dane. I guess Dane Cook's name wasn't even on accounts and stuff like that. Yeah. Just saying,
it was a bad situation for sure.
It was a bad situation for those boys.
I mean,
for
it could go both
Cook
ways,
brothers.
right? You know?
Yeah, I don't even know if he was blood brother. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so no, that's sick that it's the three of you guys and you trust one another with all of your income and all your passwords.
Yeah, you know, and I know
he's like, no, actually, I'm the only one with the password to the fucking Instagram.
No. I don't, no. First, no, it's a very, you know, obviously we have our roles and everything that we have to do, right? There's that understanding of like, okay, I take care of this stuff, you take care of that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm not hiding anything from him. If there's nothing that I think that he's hiding from me. And like I said, there's not really any reason for us to snake each other too.
Yeah,
you know, it's like like we're gonna be at the Thanksgiving table together for the rest of our lives as long as we're both together, you know, alive in this world.
Wow.
Right? So it's like, why would I? Like I don't see the incentive to do that. And
absolutely,
you know, we've had, you know, in the past we've had family, you know, that have been ruined because of money, and I don't think like I don't care about money enough to snake him, you know, anybody for that matter, really. If I value a relationship with anybody, it's like I'm not gonna I'll value that relationship over a cash amount any day of the week. Now, obviously, if they're kind of a dick and you know, then it's a different situation, right? But no, I mean, to go back to my first thing I was saying, it's like, you know, like I see the bond, like the brother bond that we have, a lot more important than any kind of dollar amount could ever be. So I think I find more strength and value in that than you know, any potential opportunity that could come from anything else in the outside world. So yeah,
it takes a village, right?
Yeah, no,
it's about your team, your team, and everyone with you, and yeah, man, that's awesome. So now I have some questions, and you can answer these in as much depth as you'd prefer. But I'm sure I was on Derek Teal, Dialed Health. Shout out him. Hopefully he's healing up and everything's good. And I'm still so shocked and like just blown away with everything that happened with him. But it's pretty awesome to see the community come together, and I'm glad that he's alive and healing and whatever. Sidebar. Thankful that Derek's still with us and healing.
If I can just interject real quick, like, shout out to all the fans that watch his content and everything. Cause I went out to his group ride a few weeks back when he had the fundraisers and everything. Dude, the amount of people that showed up to support, it was literally hundreds of people came.
That's pretty awesome.
Know, it was, I was mind blown. I was like, wow, this is insane, you know? And, so it really showed to me, there's a lot of really good people who genuinely care still left in this world, you know, and there's a very, very uplifting moment. And just the fact that he came out of that alive and, you know, he's healthy and he's getting back into shape, and they found the dude that did it to him. And, you know, it's
crazy. But anyways, back to the point here. He had me on for his 100th episode of his podcast. If you haven't listened to his podcast or whatever, he does this too. Has a bunch of amazing guests on, yada, 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 kills it in everything he does. But one of his questions, this was episode 100 was before he kind of hit the old incline per se. Like he was growing, but then, man, he like absolutely just friggin' took off like a rocket ship. But he was asking me questions on like how to make viral content, yada, yada, yada. Like just all these questions on stuff like content based. So my question for you here is, I'm sure obviously there's a method to your madness and there's a bit of a recipe. Are you guys like, how are you guys coming up with the creative behind your content, and how are you trying to tell stories? Obviously, I think the basis is mostly comedic. And then, kind of what's the what's the process? What are you guys doing? What are you focusing on? What are you trying to, what strings are you trying to pull?
Yeah, I mean, so much of the content that we make, when it comes to ideas, I'll keep it very simple. A lot of the ideas come in a few different forms. The main, like the majority of the ideas will, it'll be me just out doing something or like on a bike ride or something, and I'll just see something, or I'll think of something that I'm just embarrassed about myself, or I see someone else doing something and I'm like, oh, that would be a funny idea. And then I kind of adjust that in my own mind of like, okay, this could be a little bit more engaging if I filmed it this way, or all the engagement and hook tricks for social media. That's a whole other topic there on its own. But then we have another percentage of videos will also be like, I'll just be scrolling through social media and I'll be like, oh, this could be potentially trending, or that's a cool idea if I converted that idea into a mountain biking idea. This approach to content is hilarious. So a lot of it's like, I would say it's like recycling other ideas. I very much live by the if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of mentality. So it's like so much of our our content it follows a lot of the same formula. The only thing that changes is generally what's trending at the moment, if there even is anything that's trending in the mountain bike world, but then also what can be converted and like mountain bike is a very niche thing, right? Yep. But the reason why we've been able to kind of get content that blows up in some of the videos that we produce is that I try to make content that's very relatable to other people that aren't into biking. I want to get people to come into the sport. Like that's really like the main ethos of what we're doing here. It's like, yeah, there's a comedy and I'm a big rider and I want to inspire, whatever the background stuff may be. At the core of, from my perspective, is like, I want mountain biking to be the NBA. I want it to be the NFL. I want bikers, pro athletes to get paid, contracts that are $10 million contracts, for a season or something. It's like, and the only way to do that is by getting more people into the sport and more people engaged in what's going on here. And one of the things, I don't know if you guys know who Isaac Wallen is. He's a videographer, does a lot of the ride or die stuff, Brendan Semenek's videos. One of the conversations I was having with him, he's a good buddy of mine. I was telling him, he was telling me, he's like, dude, like your content, you were just talking about content and, kind of what we do. And I was telling him, like, dude, like, I'm just trying to get people to come in here so they can go and watch your stuff. Like, I think what Isaac does, like guys like him or Rupert Walker, or, James, what you do, everyone, like what you guys do actually requires like serious art and skill. And it requires your ability to think very creatively on how am I going to get this shot with this kind of angle, or, I mean, I only know a little bit about videography and photography and stuff like that, but I value that stuff way more, than making a quick Instagram video, but so many people are never going to see, the Brandon Semenek video because they don't even know what mountain biking is. Yeah. So we got to get them to mountain biking first, then they can convert their interest into that kind of stuff. And that's really kind of where I see my place being in the industry and in the content world. Is that's my main goal, is I want to get people from the outside world into this sport and really care about it and see the value that it really brings from the riders, the filmers, everybody who's involved in this, and just the true brilliance of what the sport is.
Huh. That's pretty sick. Honestly, that's amazing, dude. And kudos to you for that. Like literally my mind goes to walking into a Walmart and you got the greeter, and the greeter is the one that's either like being a little asshole or being super nice. And that is how you are going to experience that Walmart today based off whoever's greeting you. But you're the first form of like customer service in a lot of ways. Like you're like taking people in. You're probably, since your videos are going so absolutely viral, to all of these people that don't ride bicycles, you're the ground level. You're the first interaction that they're having with mountain biking. And for it to be comedic and entertaining in the way that you guys do now, it's much more approachable. So dude, kudos to you. I loved hearing that. That was absolutely insane. And dude, that's super sick and super admirable of you to even just think of what you're doing in that regard.
Oh yeah, and I don't mean to blow smoke up my own ass here at all. I mean,
no. I don't think
literally, I just see because when I was growing up, like it seems so unattainable in a lot of different scenarios to go and ride this trail or go and do that. Like there was so much stuff, especially I've always been a bigger dude, right? And there was never really I never had any role models, you know, that made me want to go deeper and deeper into the sport that looked like me, that acted like me. And not to get like super like, oh, my story super woke or whatever.
Do it. Who cares?
Path, but like trust me, I'm not going to go that
This
path.
is after you were talking about girls playing with you and boobs and stuff in the water polo. Okay, yeah. I think you're safe, mate.
Yeah. Hey, man, I've had the attacks from the feminists plenty of times before, so but no, going back to what I was saying though, like, you know, it's you know, having that how should I put this without like totally exposing myself here? It would have been nice to see, you know, somebody like me doing stuff, you know, that was cool, you know, to some extent. And,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm cool. I mean, it's great seeing all these pros out there, but it's in a lot of extent, it's kind of unrelatable. Yeah. So when you have somebody who's a little more relatable, that's able to pique the interest and then keep the interest from, you know, normal people, you know, I think there's a lot of value in that. And, you know, if let us set aside anything else, if I could just get one person who was afraid to go mountain biking to actually go mountain bike, even if it's not their own bike, even if like whatever they're riding is like a $200 little clunker, it's like, that doesn't matter. It's like, if you go from sitting on your couch, not doing anything, wasting your life away, playing Fortnite or watching, you know, whatever bullshit TV show there is nowadays, like if you can go from that world to being out in nature and having fun and being connected with reality, like, you know, that's a win for me, you know, and that's ultimately, you know, what I want to achieve by doing all this stuff. So
yes, sir. 1,000,000%. I think everybody listening, the four of us, or the three of us and you, obviously, we all agree, and we're all in the same mindset, man. That's sick, and that's great. And I really appreciate your thought process. I think we all really appreciate your thought process on that. And man, it's cool. And back to like the Derek relation to this whole thing of where this content is coming from. There's like if you do research on social media or whatever, like there's these 3 E's, right? There's educate, entertain, and engage. And like those are the 3 main things that you're supposed to do on social media. And Derek, he educates. He has turned this educating, churning machine into his niche, and it's killing it. And you're entertaining and you're killing it. But both of you guys are also hitting the engagement thing, because I mean, there's so many more people like Braden Bringhurst, for instance, or even Brandon Semenuk. We need the unattainable Brandon Semenuks in the world for people to be like, oh my goodness, that entertainment on a little different level. And it also engages. If you can entertain and if you can and educate people, you're also going to engage with them, because they're going to want to be in the comments and being like, oh my God, did you see that triple tail whip to manual or whatever? Or did you see what was Sebastian sitting on? There was no seat there. Was that up his ass? You know, like there's going to be those people.
Come on,
and there's
going
to be the
French rappers to fucking steal your shit. So, I mean,
so,
made it.
Anyway, I may interject there super quick. I mean, if I can interject, I mean, you know, going back to Brandon Semenuk, for example, it's like, you know, using the 3 E's, it's like he's not only obviously entertaining and engaging, but like he's like, when it comes to the education side of things, the way I see it when I watch guys like him, the reason why they're so important, because it's like, obviously, you know, they're not relatable, but at the same time, they're very, very important, because me seeing someone like Brandon Semenuk go and do that triple, you know, whatever crazy trick he did, it lights that spark within me to be like, he just did that, and he's a human being, and I'm a human being too. That means I must be able to do that. So it gives you that little fire, it burns that fire inside to be like, okay, this dude's doing crazy stuff. He's absolutely blowing people's minds. He's one of the most skilled human beings on the planet. And also he's just a really cool dude in person too. And then you're like, okay, I can be this person who's amazing. I can do these crazy things. I can go off and be the overall, you know, epitome of what it means to be a human being and an exceptional person. Right. And I think that's by far the most important thing about figures like him in the world is I feel like almost nothing would happen in the world. There would be no movement if it wasn't for guys like him. I mean, you know, because most people, what is it, like the 80-20 rule? Most people are 80% of people are, or sorry, 20% of people are responsible for 80% of all the important stuff that's happened in the world. And it's like, I bet you those 20% of people have had some kind of role model or someone that sparked that fire inside of them, like a Brandon Semenuk, like a Bear Grylls, nature guy, like a
normal MTBer,
like a sea bass.
No, I'm not that at the Bear Grylls level yet. So,
hey, but you are maybe not to the full scale, but there's somebody watching normal mountain biker videos that are like, all right, I can do that. Maybe I can. It's possible. It's clearly possible.
Yeah.
Like it's there. And I mean, yeah, I think every creator tries to kind of do that in some way, shape, or form, but it's sick. It's cool. It's cool to see that you're doing it and that you're killing it and everything.
And like you were saying like how you're like art like we're artists, be it James or whatever it is, but dude, what you do takes a unique artist. I mean, maybe it's not artist, but there is a unique skill in that finding.
It's poetry,
it's poetry. It's fucking hard. I mean, me and Spencer fucking rack our minds around shit like that for fucking months to try to get some of those ideas, and it's fucking just as hard as taking some type of unique photo or video.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, yeah, it all comes together, but I think that the thing that I really love about it, and let's just blow some smoke up your ass because we're obviously got nothing else to do. I love the relatability. I love the and you're making fun out of yourself, but you're also making fun out of the kooks out there and stuff. And I'll say this, I can take off my professional hat for a second. Like the thing about a lot of it is it kind of wears on you talking to the people, but the thing is that those people are the people that we need more of in our sport. We need to be welcoming them with open arms, and to be a capitalist or whatever. Yeah, those are also the people that are going to be spending the money that keeps us everybody around this table in jobs. Keeps us going and everything like that. Keeps the YouTube money makers or whoever pays the YouTubers oh yeah, people are interested in bikes. Well, we want to address those numbers, So no, I think it's incredible what you're doing with regards to making it very relatable. And a lot of your videos, I'm like, oh, I've done that. Oh man, I'm such a kook, because I am. We all are. We're all kooks in our own way, right? So. I had no point. I was just, no question. I was just running my mouth just to validate myself being here.
Hello, Jamesy.
Hi, it's me, Jamesy.
It's interesting. You bring up the whole kooks thing. It's there's a big reason why I bring that, that other side, that other perspective into the content. And a lot of it comes down to it's where I grew up. If you guys have ever been to the Bay Area in California, it's obviously a very nice place. There's great scenery out there. The populated area is not so much nowadays, which is a large reason why I left. But I won't get into a little bit. But no, with the kooks, going back to the kooks and kind of making fun of things like the trail, hikers and stuff like that. I mean, the area I grew up in was a very Californian area, if I may put it that way. You had,
we understand.
We get it. The pools are fucking awesome,
right? And one of the things that really stands out with for biking is really, really challenging to do where I grew up, especially in Marin County. If you guys know your history on mountain biking, so much.
Birthplace.
Yeah, that's what I say. I mean, maybe
unbelievable, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of debate on that. I mean, as a Marina myself, I mean, yeah, mountain biking happened here. Did it actually begin here? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, right? But we'll give him the title because they're losing in every other respect. But
the trail is fucking savage.
Sorry, I go ham, man. I grew up there. I know exactly the goes arounds of everything
fuck.
That
It's
goes
so
on
true
there,
though.
Man. And
I had to move Supercrosses from Oakland and shit because it's just so fucked there.
Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. And growing up, it was crazy, man. One of the biggest challenges we had, especially when it came to biking, is it just not just biking, but access to nature. I'm really big. Like I was saying, I want people to go out to nature, experience it, really see what's going on out there rather than being told about nature on your phone. Right.
Yeah.
And having access to nature is really challenging because you do have the open space districts and all that kind of stuff. But what you can and cannot do out there is so limiting. It's like you either can be on a horse in some areas, you can be hiking, or if you're lucky, you can ride your bike in some areas. And it's just like, what, like really? Like there's no motorcycles allowed anywhere. There's very, very few like OHV areas, if any. I don't even think there's any OHV parks anywhere. I think you have to go to private land to go ride, to take your car
TDS.
off road, you know. It's crazy, right?
We're down to 2 in Los Angeles.
Dude, that's crazy. I'm sorry to hear that, man, because there's so much, you know, what is it, the Angeles National Forest, you know, right behind you guys. It's like how much space is out there? There's hundreds and hundreds of miles of fire roads that are just accessible to, you know, anybody who would want to go out there. You're never going to be seen by anybody if you just go get yourself lost out there. It's like, literally, what's the need in controlling all of this? And, you know, where I grew up in Marin County, you know, it's really bad. Even to this day, it's getting a little bit better, you know, with mountain bike access. But I literally grew up in that, you know, where we would go out on a bike ride with all my friends. Very innocent. You know, we're not out there, you know, lighting trees on fire. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're literally just going for a bike ride, right? And we get like old ladies, you know, yelling at us, "I'm calling the police on you, blah, blah, blah." We're just riding our bikes. We're not being menaces or anything. I've had death threats from people before. You know, I've literally had, you know, people on horses. This lady one time, you know, we were riding down on a trail that it wasn't bike legal, and I'll say that now because I don't live there anymore. So get fucked, Marin County Open Space District. but
come find me. I'm in fucking Reno, Nevada.
Come to Reno. I dare you to come to Reno.
I dare you to come.
But no, there's I mean, we would ride the signs. I would disregard them. I don't care. I mean, I'm old enough now to where, you know, I've been around the block a bit. Like, I'll throw hands if I have to, but
you're 6'4". I'm fucking not throwing hands. I'm fucking riding the other way.
This is satire for anybody who's getting triggered by what I'm saying.
Oh, fuck.
But no, but on the real though, like they're very, very strict about it. You can't ride bikes anywhere, right? So we would just ride all the illegal trails. I mean, what are you going to do? I'm not, you know, either you build a new trail and it gets shut down and then you get a potentially, you know, big fine for building a trail, or you just risk it and ride, you know, the local single track that's available, right? And we were riding this one trail, you know, going back to this death threat that I got once. We were riding a trail, a beautiful, I mean, stunning trail. And that's one of the things about Marin County is it is so beautiful everywhere you look, right? I mean, amazing scenery, perfect hills, you know, coastal winds come in the evening. It's nice and chill. And you get it's just amazing, right? Right now, this time of year.
A hell of a picture.
Yeah, no,
as a dude
it's all
shitting on
right
the side
now.
of the trail.
Yeah, I joke with my friends. It's literally fantasy land out there. I mean, it's ridiculous how unreal it looks. And so we're on this one of the most scenic, most beautiful trails, right? Way out, you know, mile or two away from civilization. And I'm coming down, you know, we're coming around these single tracks, and I can see further down the trail, and I see some horse people, and they're coming up on their horses. And I'm like, okay, let's stop. Let's be respectful. You know, me and my friend get off our bikes. We move off to the side of the trail. We make sure not to scare the horses or anything. We're like, let them pass, you know, no problems here at all, right? They come up on the trail, and they come up right up to us, and there's two a lady and her husband, I believe, and she like looks over at me and she's like, "You guys aren't supposed to be here on mountain bike, blah 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 blah," just yapping at me, yelling at me, right? And I'm just like, "Oh, sorry, you know, we're just out here, you know, blah blah." I don't know what I said at the time. I was super young, and she just kept on going at it, right? You're just like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then the last thing she said as she's passing by, we're still being very respectful, like, sorry, you know, didn't want to harden you, you know, whatever, just being very cool about it. Then she turns to me, looks straight in my eyes, and says, "I hope you fall and break your neck," and then just walks off.
God,
I'm like, what
damn.
Or she said something like, would be a shame if you'd fallen and break your neck or something like that. Like it was a threat. Like she said in a very threatening way. And I'm like, whoa. Dude, I'm just riding my bike here. Like that is insane, man. Like, and that kind of like changed my perspective. I was like, okay, people they're not stoked around here for bikes at all, you know? And
Or just for other people using their trails, they think that they should be the only ones using it, right?
Yeah, no, it's strange, you know. And
as the horse is taking a massive dump in the middle of the fucking trail,
putting holes in the trail.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, and I don't. That's not all horse people. I'm just saying this very specific situation. You know, there were the bad characters. You know, there were people that we knew that if you came across them on the mountain, like go away because they're gonna do something to you. You know, there was this one dude. I shit you not. He trained his horse to attack bikes. Like,
what?
I am not joking. This dude, I know his name and everything. I'm not going to say it publicly, so I don't get.
I mean, we only have 12 listeners. You might as well.
And none of them are fucking horse riders. Okay, I can tell you that right now.
None of them are from Marin County either.
Yeah.
Well, this particular dude, like. Literally, like he trained his horse. I don't know how you even do this. I don't know how he managed to do it. I didn't know you could train horses like this.
Fucking so many puppies sacrificed.
Yeah. And he trained his horses to not only bite tires, but also stomp on wheels and stuff. And it was this crazy thing. I'm not even joking at all. And I literally witnessed this happen with my own eyes once. And I did. So just growing up with all this kind of stuff made me very pessimistic about living in the Bay Area in California, because it's not just, you know, Marin County. It's the East Bay, it's the South Bay. You know, it's like you get this everywhere. It's like a very cultural thing. There's a very people love nature. People are very nature oriented in the Bay Area in California.
But have we gone too far?
Yeah. That's a place where it goes too far, and then you get like the crazy, you know, the eco people. You know, the you're destroying the world, you know, by riding your bike on the trails. And I'm like, dude, like, shut the fuck up. Like, no,
as that dude letting his dog shit, and the preservatives are just fucking it up.
And
like,
there's
we could go on for fucking hours on this. Fuck.
And there's a good chance that trail is only built and is only there because of mountain bikers, because the person you're cheering.
Yeah, fuck. Dude. That's a whole other fucking. Fuck. I get it. I just God. Well, I mean, look, motocross and shit's getting extinct here in Southern California, and I would almost say it's like the birthplace of that. It is. Fuck, man. There's like 3 fucking tracks, you know? I mean, every factory's moved away. It's kind of, it's not a similar thing, but like it is kind of wild like that. But fuck the fucking bike thing and what you're talking there. Fuck, man. Oh, God.
You just hit something with Austin, obviously. Look at him go.
Yeah, because they fucking, I mean, God forbid a fucking hiker work on the trail, but he fucking can dictate the whole thing. Like, come on, man. Like, it's all of us building and working on these trails, but then the hiker's like, oh, well, you're just fucking up for you. Like, God, all right, sorry. I'm with you. I'm with you on it, man.
Yeah. You know, can I tell you something else that's going to be really infuriating too?
Please.
It's
the address of the guy.
Please continue.
No, one of the things too that's quite staggering when you really like, you know, you like to take the benefit of the doubt of the people who don't want, you know, motocross or whatever, you know, bikes on trails and stuff. But in the area that I grew up, if you go out to anywhere, literally anywhere at any time of day, it could be the middle of the weekend with hundreds of people out there, or it could be on a Tuesday morning with nobody out there. The majority of people that you see on these trails are bikers. Like any place you go, it's like you go to the very top of a mountain, chances are there's 5 or 6 bikers up there and maybe one hiker. And then you're like, why is it so like, why is everyone so anal about this? And it's not, I'm not saying the people that live there, because a lot of people, like the newer generation of people, you know, they all have kids, all the Gen Z, I'm sorry, the millennials and Gen Ys, I think they are.
I have no
idea. Gen Z is next, or Gen Z is after millennial.
Yeah. So the Gen Xers then, I guess that's
before
one,
us,
right? Before millennials, right?
Yeah.
So you'll have like a lot of them are now starting to have kids, like us millennials, and they're all coming from this like world of oh, I rode my bike. Why does it matter if they're on a single trail? Who cares? You know, they don't care, right? Yeah. So a lot of the newer age people really don't care very much. It's just the older generations who think that because they grew up riding those or walking on those trails, it's only for them to enjoy, right? And that's it's that like it's almost like an elitism.
It's the ones that own all the fucking houses, and I'm paying on my ass for fucking new ones. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
But then,
like, why don't you get more money?
God, we're the biggest white. Like, I live in Boulder, Colorado. Like, we are the most spoiled white dudes in the world right now.
But then,
anyway,
ironically enough, James and I were just in Sedona, and I spent a week there, and that place might be the most trafficked hiking destination of all time. and 99.9% of them are the friendliest hikers ever.
I don't know.
my
I've
gosh.
had some fucking issues in Sedona.
You have
Sorry.
issues no matter where you
Yeah.
go, Austin. You can
Fuck
see you
you,
from a mile
Jamesy.
away, and you're like,
Hey,
"Oh, this
fuck
dude's going to be
you.
a smart ass to me. He's
Your
going to
name's
talk
Austin
down to
White."
me. He's going to ask me what kind of camera I have, and if I don't have a Canon R3, I can
Oh,
go
you got the
fuck
iPhone
myself."
fucking 12? Go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah.
Get the 15. Don't you know about the Max? Shit,
What, do you have
man.
a
Who the
fucking
fuck are
Android?
you?
Green
Yeah,
text?
Fuck. green
Lame.
text. Delete.
I'm with James here, honestly. You
Yeah.
smell awesome.
We love
White.
you, Austin, but you can have
I'm
a
the
problem no
nicest-
matter
hey,
where
I
you
make
are.
friends everywhere I fucking go, so fuck you guys.
And
okay?
you make enemies.
And you make
everywhere.
enemies, yeah.
Fucking hanging
Goes
out with
both
you,
ways.
Spencer, over here. Fuck.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone liked me until I did videos with Spencer fucking on trails that you're not supposed to go on, apparently.
Yes.
Fuck.
Maybe I'm the problem.
I know. Fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think we can all agree it's something's fucking weird around in California with the water and the trail systems. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
super strange.
So getting off of this and steering the conversation probably into hopefully more of a bit of a positive thing. I do feel like I remember, and I've been kind of like looking through your portfolio, aka the old internet. You did one with Cody Kelly,
Oh,
right?
fuck
Yeah.
that. Yes.
I did. Yeah.
That was fucking money. I remember that, and I was showing it to all my friends that aren't bike riders, anybody that would watch, and like, yeah, it's funny, but I think you're taking it too far, James. How was that experience working with little Cody?
Dude, Cody is awesome, man. First of all, shout out to him. Cody Kelly, for anybody who's listening to who we're talking about here. But yeah, man, Cody is absolutely awesome. He's one of those guys that when you see them on video riding and then you see them in person riding, he is so much faster in person. Like, cameras don't do justice to how quick that dude is.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that probably the biggest thing about, riding and filming with him, I told him at the beginning of the shoot, I was like, hey dude, like, I don't go as fast as you. I was like, whatever your like slow speed is, cut that in half, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he like absolutely like amazing dude, just overall like on and off the bike. I mean, I can't say enough good things about him, and just being in that video with him and I guess I don't know, I guess we could say kind of made history with that, because like I don't remember ever being in a video of like someone as fat and disgusting as me with a person as juicy and sexy as him. So
With
He
the
is
wig
juicy
on.
and he is sexy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know
How
if
much-
I'd go that far, but
Was like a lot of that your concept? Whose concept?
Yeah,
Like,
who came
yeah.
that one was very much a like a group thing, right? So when we had the original idea, when Specialized came to us and they're like, "Hey, we want to make this video. There's this new bike coming out. Throw some
KSL.
ideas, right?"
Was it the KSL?
What was that?
That was Levo
Was it
SL, I
KSL?
think, right?
There was a Levo SL, yeah,
The new
yeah,
one.
the Levo
Yeah.
SL when that originally came out. And funny enough, that actually we shot that like about a year before it came out.
Yeah.
Which is really hard to keep that a secret for a year, because I was like, dude, this bike is so sick.
Yeah, because you guys had different
Yeah.
drive trades on there, right, and everything.
Yeah.
Then
no,
what
it
came
was,
on the bike, and even that
mhm.
color. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know some stuff.
Nerding
Yeah, no,
stuff.
but no, so way back, when we were first planning the video out, it was very much like, hey, throw some ideas out. We want to make this video, and we think it'd be funny to go this direction. Give us some ideas, and we had a few people on the project. Matt Orlando, I don't know if you guys know who he is.
Yeah,
he was in the
he's
project.
dope. He's a super rad dude. Super rad.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, he's super skilled. Him, Drew Boxold as well. Super skilled dudes. Cody obviously was involved. Curtis Keene was involved in that one as well. And we kind of all just brainstormed on that one. And eventually we came to a pretty solid, what is it, script, I guess. I'm not in the movie.
Oh, so you did have a script, and none of it was
yeah.
just like
no, we
the hot
definitely had a
dog. And
script.
okay, you had the hot dog in the script.
That was
Okay.
definitely, there were some things where we got out there and we started to film, and then we're like, oh my god, dude, how funny would it be if we did this?
Yeah,
there were
yeah.
those moments where we had stuff like that, but the general like video idea, we had it written down. We had kind of like a rough, like actual word for word script as well. And The location, as far as like filming, I had never been. It was all filmed in Oak Ridge, Oregon. I had never been there prior to that video shoot.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's cool. It's a vast area. There's a lot of trails out
there. Did you guys stay in the little bed and breakfast?
No.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah,
I do. I've stayed there. Yeah.
Place is sick.
Yeah. Did you have Chinese food? The Chinese food place in town or no?
Yeah, I did.
That dude. Yeah, that dude's like I don't know if he's like famous or not, but that shit was fucking fire.
Wow.
Sorry.
Really?
Yeah, Oak Ridge is.
Yeah.
We were so busy. We were like getting up at like 7 and we weren't back home till like well after dark, like every day. I wish I had more time.
That's how it should be for photo and video shoots.
7. Fuck, I was up at 4:30 this morning for the shoot. Yeah, I know. Fuck.
But,
were you guys using that guy for shuttles with the old the old van, Econoline? No.
We were pretty much self-sufficient. For the most part, we had like trucks and stuff with us, and we were kind of brought up to the top. Curtis,
he was like helicopter, flew him up. That's why they got to take off at 7. Yeah.
Well, how was that? Yeah, how was that experience working on more of that kind of professional level photo shoot that you are trying to make the most of every minute? And I'm not saying the stuff that you post isn't. I'm just saying that more of the stuff you're doing seems a lot more like, especially on Instagram, held with, what do you shoot that on, iPhones, or do you have a camera set up and stuff? Yeah.
No, it's definitely, we were very unprofessional.
Have a camera.
I'm sorry. Know. Damn, Jamesy. Fuck, have you seen his videos before or something? What
I'm real.
Is going on? Yeah, you're real.
But but like, what was that experience like? Again, because you did it like a year before it was even released, and it's been released for almost a year.
Yeah. So that was definitely a little bit of a newer experience for me as far as that level of professionalism to it. Emotions wise, it was kind of nerve wracking at first because obviously Cody's a very, very fast rider. So there was that pressure on me to keep up with him. So I was, I found myself multiple times going beyond my skill level in certain scenarios and kind of being in that mode of, oh shit, I'm not in control right now, but let's just do it anyway. Some not very smart moments on my end, but we got to get it for the shot, man. The shot is more important than health. But
Spencer knows that.
But no, I think in general, being in that environment was really, really cool. It allowed me to be able to see what's possible, what goes into it from the back end of it. And then also the amount of work that it took for it too. That was by far the most, prominent thing for me, because it's like, I know I was, you guys are joking around about the times, but waking up at like 7 for a photo shoot was just unheard of for me, up until that photo shoot, right? So, so it's like, waking up every day, like dead from the day before, no recovery whatsoever. Like,
right. Yeah.
Depleted on like, I'm very calorie deficient, which is good for me. I need to be calorie deficient. That's another story. but no, and then going out there and then like, there were some times where I couldn't do something within like a couple shots. So we'd be out there for like 10, 15, 20 shots trying to get something.
I also know about this.
Yeah, you know about that.
Yeah. And then you start to feel bad by like the 10th shot. You're just like, damn it, why can't I get this,
Yeah.
And then you get frustrated. So it really is, obviously there's the physical battle, but there's also a really big mental aspect to it as well. It's like new uncharted territory. You're doing things that you've never really done before physically. And then there's that stress. Then it's like, okay, I also want to make sure this is good, because this is my first like professional debut into the world. Like, I got to do good for this. So it's just like every attack angle, was met there. I mean, that's not saying. I mean, I live in the Western world, so it was a very easy day, speaking. But
Craft Services was there.
Yeah, crafty. just to put this into perspective, though, like I hope you know this, and for other people too. Like even the best, Brandon Semenuk, Danny McCaskill, they're not doing this all the time in 2 takes. Like I know for one instance, a buddy of mine was shooting with Danny McCaskill, and they were doing something in San Francisco, and he spent like 2 weeks trying to do one clip. Wow. And he ended up getting hurt on it and coming back like months later to shoot the same clip to finish the video.
Wow.
And that's just like incredible budget because you're paying to keep people around for weeks to do 2 seconds of filming. But like they go, I mean, they're doing absolutely insane stuff. But the Axel Hodges, if you pay attention to Moto and stuff, there's so many times where these guys aren't doing it in 4 takes or whatever. They're taking hours sometimes to do one thing, especially to do it correctly.
And with riders such as like of Cody's level, and I've been around Cody doing this and a lot of other really amazing riders, and they'll see like the image or whatever I've got, and they're like, now I can do that better. I know I can do that better. And they don't want anything going out there that shows them not like they've got this opportunity. It's going to be that one image, right? They don't want to half-ass it or whatever. They want to make sure. So that's always been something I got a lot of respect for those guys, that they will muster up the energy and like, no, I can do it better. I need to look better at this. This is bullshit or whatever, you know?
Dude,
so
that's not that I'm that crazy or anything, but I live by that. Basically. I'm like, if I am working with you, James and Austin on something, and James shoots a photo or Austin shoots a clip and he's fired up, you guys are fired up on the clip.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, dude, this is sick. The framing's great. You did everything. You did your job perfectly. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, dude, my elbows like sticking straight up. I look terrible. We got to run that back. And you're like, dude, what? This is sick. And I don't know. It's just kind of like going back to this thing where I trust you to do your job and now I have to do mine. And sometimes you hit it and I don't, and vice versa. And it's kind of a whole program, whole process.
It's a whole shit show is what it is. But so I've got a question with regards to like, so obviously like we talked about you working with Cody, and then you've obviously done collabs with other YouTubers, or like I think that they pulled you in on the Mahalo My Dude, where it was like you read the comments, that kind of thing. So where do you see yourself, where do you see influencers in the mountain bike industry going? Is that something that's going to be sticking around with, especially with the growth of YouTube? I know it sounds crazy to even say that, but like YouTube has a lot of growing to do financially speaking, taking the money from terrestrial TV and commercials over there and putting it all into YouTube, that kind of thing. So where do you see the future of influencers with regards to cycling?
Yeah, it's interesting. This is something I ask myself this pretty much every day because it affects me massively, right? It's also, I think it's an evolving answer as well, because with everything in social media, as you guys have probably noticed, it's like things are always changing and evolving almost on a daily basis sometimes. So I think the answer I might give today might be a completely different answer of what it will be next year. I really don't know. What I would say when it comes to mountain biking specifically with the social media realm, I mean, one thing that we can't ignore is that less and less people are watching TV and more people are hopping onto platforms like YouTube and TikTok and all this kind of stuff. I mean, the platform numbers are just growing. I mean, if you're looking at charts of users for YouTube and Instagram and whatnot, it's like all it's doing is just going up. Now, obviously, there's going to get to a point where everybody on Earth, theoretically, everybody on Earth is going to have an account, right? But when it comes
don't tell the bike industry that when they were predicting this 2 years ago, where they were going like this. We could just keep doing this. So anyway, that's a different conversation. Continue. I apologize.
Luckily, that's not my expertise. Is making bikes. I'm not involved in any of that stuff. Leave it to the experts. But as far as social media, though, what I can say is that in general, like not just for myself, but what I'm seeing from a bunch of other creators, specifically creators that are, in the non-professional realm, it seems like most creators are just growing right now. If they genuinely try and they're being consistent with their content, obviously things are going to plateau at certain points. People are going to give up, drop off, all that. It's just like everything else in life. There's going to be ebbs and flows to it. But I think in general, so much of these creators are just growing and growing and growing and growing. And of course, there might be you might tap out, certain industries. Like you might get to the point where every potential person who would subscribe to your channel has already subscribed. You know, that's possible. It's very possible. You see that with some big accounts sometimes, right? They just get to like 2-3 million followers, and then that's it. You never see them grow ever again, right? But in general, I think the relevancy of social media and the relevancy of creators on social media is only growing more and more. Already, I mean, look at like, you know, for example, like just to generalize things here, like look at like famous TikTokers, famous YouTubers, famous streamers. You know, it's like, it seems like the current culture cares more about the Jake Pauls of the world than they do of, you know, the Michael Jacksons of the world, for example, right? You go to any high school today and ask them, hey, who would you want to meet who's famous? They're probably going to name off some streamer or some internet celebrity of some kind. Like, they probably will. Right. Or a rapper who, ironically, rappers really only become famous nowadays because of social media. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know, that's where I'm kind of seeing things. Right. And I think the same thing is with mountain biking. Right. And, you know, you go, like, a perfect example is Seth, you know, Burn Peak. Right. I don't know if you guys have ever seen him in public or met him or spent time with him. Very, very incredible guy. I mean, he's very, very like down to earth. He knows what he's doing. He's a very intelligent guy. Very, very cool dude. But when you see him in public, you know, people are flocking to him. Like, it doesn't matter if he's just walking, you know, down or he's on a trail riding or something. You know, when people see, if he's in any public scenario, people are crowded around him. You know, and you know, you see that, and then you're like, okay, like, that's obviously very, very cool, but it's like, what does this mean for biking in general? Because, like, I'm over here looking at this dude who's like a pro, you know, a professional guy who I've looked up forever, and maybe you have like a couple people, you know, hanging out with him, but then you see Seth, who's got like literally 50 people trying to get an autograph and a picture with him, and then another 50 people have noticed, now they're cycling over, and then you're like, whoa, okay, this is interesting. So it's like, I think that internet fame status is really starting to trickle over into the mountain bike world. And so I don't know if that answers your question or not, but
dude, it for sure is. And I use this example all the time, but last year at Sea Otter, when we were talking, you and I, Sebastian, it was like kind of mind blowing to some aspects. I think we were like right behind the Crank Brothers booth or something like that. Mm-hmm. And we were having a conversation, and like Mick Hanna was standing right next to us having another conversation, or somebody. It might have been like, I think it was Mick Hanna, who's like a absolute badass on a bike.
Dude, he's a G.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
A G. Yeah.
And like, this isn't any disrespect to you or anything, but like we had a grip of people come up to you, and we could hardly have a conversation because people are taking pictures with you and asking you questions, and they could care less that Mick Hanna's standing right there, but they want to say hi to normal mountain biker, and like that, it's crazy, and you're totally correct. I mean, you're making more of an impact on these people than, I don't know, is Mick a world champion?
Top.
I think he is a world champion.
Oh, he's got all kinds of accolades.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I mean, sorry, again, no disrespect, but
did you hear how high he went there, Seabass? It's crazy. Oh my God, this big old 330-pound dude. Everybody wants to be his friend. What about the small, skinny white dude?
No,
it's me, Spencer. I'm messing with you, you know that.
Yeah, for sure. But it was just like, I literally sat there, and I've thought about this often. I'm like, dang, dude, you guys really are. Same deal with Heather Muniv. Later on that day, like sitting talking to her, people are walking up to her asking for the same deal. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. These guys and girls are making impacts on people's lives in different ways than just racers.
But is it like maybe, because it's relatable. Like you can relate more to this than I could relate to Aaron Gwynn.
For sure. I think it is in a lot of ways.
You just nailed it. It's the relatability side of it, right? You know, like to bring back, you know, Seth, for example, it's like, you know, you watch the videos, and like, he's not necessarily, although he'll mention it sometimes, he's not talking about like this particular athlete, you know, was 0.5 of a second quicker on his last run than the last. It's like, okay, that's cool. There's obviously an audience for that, which is why we have the World Cups and all that kind of stuff, right? but Seth does an amazing job at bringing like, here are some tech tips. Here's this trendy topic that could potentially, interest 1 million people. And then lo and behold, he gets 1 million views on his YouTube video. And then you're like, wait, why did he get it? Oh, it's because everybody cares about the specific thing that he's talking about, and it's trending, and it's one of the things that people care about right now, right? And that's where I see like a lot of the genius. It's like like I said, with life, there's a lot of ebbs and flows with things, right? It's like at times, 5-10 years ago, racing was the thing. Like if you weren't a racer, you were an absolute nobody. Like there was no way that a creator like myself or Seth or anybody would have popped up.
Getting the money from the brands.
Exactly. It was not going to happen, right? But now it's like, things have shifted. Like
it's
with
almost
everything
50-50.
Exactly, right? So who knows? Maybe in 3-4 years, it might go back again to, hey, these creators, they brought a lot of people in. These people are kind of bored with the creators. Now let's go back to the racers. Those guys are doing way cooler things, so it's like it's constant ebb and flow, right? I think that right now, one of the things that I try not to think about too much, but it's important to note is that, it's like this era of social media, the way it is right now, is it's going to end one day. It will end. The question is though, what's the next thing? And that's where I'm very much, focused right now on is okay, so where's the next movement going? Because I don't want to be left. I don't want to be another Blockbuster, I don't want to be left in the dust. So it's like, okay, so I'm thinking,
nice analogy.
What's the next thing, right? What's like, when's Netflix popping up? When's AI popping up? When's all these different things popping up, right? And so, yeah, I mean, not to go on too much of a tangent on what's going to happen. I think, going back to your original question of like how where do I see social media with the mountain bike world? It's like, it's going to grow, but I think to only a certain point, then it's going to cap itself out. Then there's going to have to be new things that come into place. And if I were to be a betting man, if you look at like niche sports, right? Like skating, if you look at like BMX, if you look at scooters and stuff like that, like niche sports, and I would consider mountain biking right now to be sort of a niche sport.
It's niche.
I would definitely, if you're saying skating is niche, then mountain biking surely is.
I mean, and when I say niche, I mean like if you're comparing it to like the NFL or something, right?
Yeah.
Like,
extreme sports are these.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Extreme sports. Like I think they're still very niche. Like you look at like the top, like maybe not the top most athletic or like athletically skilled people in those realms, but the people who were able to gather the most attention from doing that particular niche, like a lot of them, like take, like Rob Dyrdek, for example. He's a perfect example for skating, right? He obviously made a lot of great business moves, with DC and all of his TV shows and everything, but simultaneously, like we still remember who Rob Dyrdek is today, because he was able to create a brand and an image for himself outside of just skating.
It transcended skating for sure.
It transcended.
TV shows, Fantasy Factory,
still smart business,
ridiculous. Yeah, killed it.
Exactly. And the people who I see doing that right now in mountain biking, right off the bat, I see Fabio Widmer. He's absolutely crushing it. I mean, what he's doing right now is insane as far as like the edits he's making, the moves business wise that he's making, his appearances in certain places. I mean, he's right now in my eyes the pinnacle of what it means to be a mountain biker in the social media realm. Because I think for him, if he's on the path that he's going on right now, he's going to get to the point where he can walk into a Formula One, world championship race in Dubai and walk up there and he'll have, full paparazzi, full his own booth, everything, which I'm sure he's already at that point right now. But you get what I'm saying. It's like he's at that point where he's going to live in infamy, forever and ever as the mountain biker, because nobody's done what he's done up to this point, unless I'm, missing some. Obviously, you have the Brandon Semenix of the world and whatnot. Fabio's his approach to content and social media has been very, very. It's like hitting it as hard as he can with a nuclear bomb and just getting the most out of it as possible.
and to that point, I'm like a massive Fabio Widmer fan. So you're speaking my language right now. And one thing I really appreciate about his stuff more than anything is that he's doing insane stuff, but he's also doing it in the most relatable way absolutely possible. You can have no idea what mountain biking is and still be so entertained by the storytelling and by the placement of people, whether he's like saving a little girl from walking across the street or like finding directions through Paris with his Samsung smartphone or what, like just he's got these storytelling aspects that allow anybody to watch the video and be like, whoa, that's entertaining and that's cool. And he's doing these things and building relationships. And is, to your point, I was at the Monaco F1 race like 2 years ago, and I was just there as a bystander. But he's like doing flips over the Red Bull cars into the water and stuff. Like he's having full on events basically for him at these arguably the most elite sport in the world. Like killing it. Dude is killing it.
I knew he was like obviously very well aware of him. Did not realize YouTube 7.8 million subscribers.
Holy shit.
No, he's the man.
The IG world is 2.5 million followers. Yeah.
Killing it.
Yeah, Fabio's the GOAT. And his brothers too.
Oh, yeah,
I
for
believe he's
sure.
got
I didn't
know yet.
two other brothers.
Really?
Gabriel.
Yeah.
Gabriel.
Really?
And, I'm sorry, I'm kind of blanking their names right
Same
now.
here.
Yeah. Like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
they've got a whole thing, and the 9-yard
That's
brand.
that's
he's
cool
building.
stuff. Yeah.
Just signed a meal. Did you see that?
Yep.
Pretty sick.
Ooh.
You know,
And it's
these are the
sick
things.
too. Dude, I love talking about this stuff, and I can talk about this all day long. But Nigel Sylvester, you know who he is?
Yes.
Also a Specialized ambassador.
Oh, yeah.
Same deal. So, well, kind of in a very similar world as Rob Dyrdek in a sense, where like to me, the core skaters, Rob Dyrdek was never the best skater. He was like a textbook skater that could do so many good tricks at like all day in his sleep, do everything great, but he wasn't like doing a switch or whatever, like any crazy things.
Yeah.
And Nigel Sylvester is that in the BMX world right now. He doesn't even compete anymore, but he can do sick things, tail whip God, bar spin God, whatever. But now he's integrated this sense of fashion. He's like super into high fashion. He's got a Mercedes deal. He's doing stuff with Fendi and like Louis Vuitton, and he's got a Nike or a Jordan signature shoe. And he's transcended just BMX based off of the way he carries himself and the way he markets himself. And it's incredible, and it's so inspiring. And yeah, I love this, and I admire that, and I want to do the same. It's cool. It's just super sick, and I appreciate that you appreciate that stuff as well.
Yeah, dude, I look at guys like, you know, these guys, Nigel and Fabio, and you know, I see guys like that, and it's like I like to see things on like on the timeline, right? It's like I want to see these guys get to the point where they are the next Rob Dyrdek, like they have the next Fantasy Factory, like they have their own TV shows, you know.
Yeah, but do they have as much personality as like Rob? Rob had a great personality. I feel like those guys, I don't see them really talk. I would almost compare you more to the Dyrdek situation with a Fantasy Factory, right? But his personality was his thing.
And I think that's where we're going to see it the more that companies are willing to put money behind the YouTubes, behind the Instagrams and the influencers and stuff. It is that perfect combination of you're a skilled person, you've got the business sense, you've also got the presence in front of a camera, you know, like that's more and more important. Like for every athlete out nowadays in the bike industry, it's like you're going to have a phone stuck in your face and you're going to get asked how your race was or whatever it may have been. You better be on point with how you in front of the camera presence is.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. And that's the same thing that crosses over into so many of the larger YouTubers that you see. Like all these vlogger YouTubers, it's like the perfect example is vlogs themselves. Yeah. Like anybody can take a crappy, $200 camera and walk around their day and film it. But the ones who become successful are the ones who are the most entertaining with their personality.
Yeah.
So,
and two, I think back to the original statement of just your interaction with all of these fans or whatever at Sea Otter and stuff. I think that vlogs and less groomed video content allows for a person to see who you are on a more broad scale, kind of like a Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory is in some ways. Like it's not, and I'm not throwing shade to any rider that's just making this most insane videos, but they don't know who the face is. And that's why I loved having Braden on for the last episode. Like, I don't think many people really know who Braden Bringhurst is. Like, they know who he is, but they don't know who he is, if that makes sense. And I think that this is one of the things that I'm most excited about doing this podcast for, is that we can put identities and personalities to kind of the test and bring them to the light and stuff. And vlogging and doing not groomed and just super raw content is allowing people to watch this and be like, oh, I already know this guy because I see him and I watch him interact with his brother or whatever on YouTube and how he interacts with his fans. I know that he ate this for breakfast or something. I ate that for breakfast, like kind of that type of deal. And I think that goes a long way, and it just carries, man. And then you not just have a fan from watching your stuff, you have a fan that whether he does or she does or doesn't, they think they know who you are.
So along those lines, because we do need to wrap it up at some point, because I know that the four of us can just talk for hours on this, is talking of like eating breakfast and everything. Have you had any like super gnarly, weird interactions with fans, with like in your DMs? Apart from me, obviously outside of me, but like, or in person, what I don't even know if you'd be able to tell it because you seem like a nice enough guy. You don't want to throw somebody under the bus, but what's your craziest interaction with a fan?
The horse eating the tire? Or
that was way before the social media days. That was in my teenage years. But no, I mean, when to answer this question, one of the things that really sticks out to me is there's obviously a lot of, you'll have weird encounters here and there with random people and whatnot, but there's troubling encounters that I've had, like concerning ones. And
those are the ones I want to hear about.
Yeah.
So he's right now.
I'm awake. I'm here for it.
Oh, fuck. I love you, man.
So one of so back when I used to live in California, it started getting to the point recently where I would be like, people started to figure out where I lived. And and that, it sounds like, you see people on like TMZ or whatever and have some celebrities showing up their house. Like, it's like, oh yeah, I'm sure they get annoyed by that. But what they don't talk about on TMZ is the people who like, I'm not going to say they're stalkers, but they're like, there's people that'll show up that you're like, like you're a grown ass dude. Like, why are you pulling up to my house and walking up to my driveway? And
what
trying to talk
balls
to
on this fucking guy too?
Yeah, but it's strange stuff like that. And like one of the things before I tell stories like this, I always preface it with saying like I love interacting with fans. I love meeting people and stuff.
Not
you're
this
too
fan,
nice.
no.
You're
way too nice.
Everyone knows.
Is it like the Eminem thing? You're just trying to take a shit on the toilet. Just fucking leave me alone. Like, fuck, dude.
No, luckily it's not to that point where they're breaking into my house or anything. No, it's just those things where like I've had people like I was saying, I'll be in my garage working, right? And then I'll turn around, there's someone standing there who's like,
shut up,
and I'm like, okay, what's up, dude? And they're like, you're the guy on YouTube, or like,
no way.
Like I'll be the more concerning ones are when I'm like outside loading my bike onto the rack or something in my car, and then there'll just be a car that drives by and they just start yelling at me. And I'm just like, what? Like, you can't tell what they're yelling. I don't know if they're being nice or if they're being mean, like sketchy. I don't know,
Get that fucking guy.
Yeah. It's, some of the strange interactions as well, or like, when I'm out on a trail, if I, the times I do go for a bike, or when I was back home in California, I'd go on a trail ride, to my local trails. And, I tend to go to places where not very many people are, just kind of get away from everything.
Yep.
And occasionally you'll come across like one or two other riders. Often what would happen is, I'd be riding, someone would be coming the other direction, would pass each other. And then, I would be like, oh, let me just turn around, just make sure I'm not being followed or something. And I'll turn around and there's somebody there, just like the guy is like taking a picture of me. And I'm just like, to just say hi, it's like weird things like that,
That's fucking wild.
And it happened quite frequently too. And it started getting to the point where it's like, I would go to my local grocery stores, go grocery shopping or something, and there'd be people, that would come up to me there, and
you're a celebrity, bro.
Well, that's I don't want to say that. It's just like I said, I like most interactions. Like I'm cool with it. I love meeting people. I love hearing about people's lives and their stories and everything. But then when it's like I'm just trying to live my life and you're just trying to take a picture of me without me knowing,
this is the Eminem story. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. It's like just come up and say hi. I'm not gonna like punch you. Like just come up. I'll only punch you if you try to like attack me or something.
Jesus.
Yeah, one of my really good friends moved to town during COVID, and he's got too many followers on Instagram and all. Like,
I think I know who you're talking about.
He's just one of my best.
He's talking about
now.
me. What the fuck?
His name's Austin White, but he's super protective over everything. Like if we ride from his house, he's like, "Please make sure you hide the start and finish of this thing." Like nobody. And rightfully so, man. We go into like a freaking Jersey Mike's and people are like, "Oh my God, that's so and so," and like it's tough. People like I don't. I mean, he definitely notices, but it's like I'm like, "Whoa, dude! Like, do you hear these girls in the background like saying your name? Like that's just no. This has happened." And I'm like, "Man, this is crazy." And then they start treating you differently because he's ordering food or something and they like can't talk to you or whatever. They're like, "Oh my God," but then you see them in the background clipping their taking photos and you're like, man, this is bizarre. So I don't know. I understand and that's crazy. And for in some regards it's pretty cool that you've gotten to that point, but also protect yourself.
I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about. I won't say their name, but one of the things, and maybe you've noticed this while you're out and about with him, but I don't know if you've noticed it, like when like let's say you're out in like a coffee shop or something and somebody notices him, will you notice other people like that didn't notice him initially are now like, what is going on? Like, who is this guy?
Oh yeah, 100%. And
then everybody acts differently all of a sudden after that.
Yeah, I have less of a problem putting this other guy on blast, but I've been helping Reggie Miller a little bit with riding and stuff, who's I think fourth now in all-time 3-point scores in the NBA, like Indiana Pacer, legend, Hall of Famer basketball player, and he loves mountain bikes, and he's the coolest person in the world, especially to fans, especially at mountain bike races. But we went to Temecula. He raced his first enduro this 2 weekends ago now, and we went to like lunch after the race, we were pre-riding after the pre-ride, and then went into this other little we went into a crumble cookies shop, and like some guy noticed, you could see some guys like looking at him like, "Oh my God, is that Reggie Miller?" And then talking to another person, "Is that Reggie Miller?" And then it just like started to snowball, and then everybody's like, "Whoa, dude!" And now everyone's treating you differently because they just realized that this person in here is famous or whatever. And it's like, dang, dude, if you didn't realize that this was somebody, he's just another person. And at the end of the day, he really is just another person. Like, you don't got to be weird. Reggie's the coolest guy ever. Like, he'll give you the time of day as long as you respect his time and his
all right,
presence.
so the big lessons learned is don't creep up to you in your garage or your garage when you're working on your bike. Yeah, I work for a British company again. I'm all about garage and aluminium and fish and chips.
International holiday.
We lost Austin for a couple minutes, but he's back now.
I know. Internet just fucking kicked off. Holy shit. Sorry, boys.
Really missed your input there, buddy.
Yeah, fuck.
I didn't. It was oddly peaceful there.
Yeah, it's weird. Me and Jamesy probably understand it because we get over 50K. It's easy after that. But,
Wait, what do we get?
No, I'm just saying, once you hit your first 50K, it's hard to take a shit on toilet at places,
Yeah, obviously.
I can't even go to Starbucks anymore. It's rough. I'm sorry, guys. Fuck.
I can't relate to you.
Yeah. Oh,
well, sick. Dude, this has been super informative. Sorry, Austin.
No, really, questions? Dude. Seriously, we appreciate you coming on. Like, and you're fucking real as fuck. Like, it's sick. We definitely
real as fuck.
Fucking A, 50K.
I drink Monster Energy.
Yeah, we'll start.
No, but it's amazing everything that you've been doing. So super stoked to keep watching it grow and everything. And it's good to always, like we've talked about, put the more of a real face behind the name. Like, I'm sure everybody that follows you feels like they know you real well, and just to kind of get to know you more on a personal level. Definitely appreciate your time for that, for sure.
Yeah. 100%. I'm always happy to hop on. I mean, you guys have an awesome setup here. It's really cool to be able to be here at the beginning, like I was saying, earlier. I cannot wait for that 50K, you guys. I cannot wait.
Stop it.
You'll be waiting.
Fucking
Trust
cry
me.
After this. Fuck.
You'll be
man.
waiting for a long bloody time. Let me tell you.
I heard.
Watch this. I'm gonna get canceled now tomorrow, and I'm
He loses followers for this.
No, it's not that serious. I think what's more important, if I may say one last thing, is what's more important is creating like an ability to change people for the better. I think that's ultimately what it's about. I mean, screw the followers. I'm not literally the followers. Screw the numbers. Like screw the number of followers. It's like as long as we're
going to use that part.
Change. Oh no, damn it!
Take it out of context.
Screw the followers, and then that's just it. And we just
Clip
fucking. How many people will follow us after that one, right? Fuck.
No. What I meant to say was that the number is less relevant than what it is that you're putting out there, and if you're genuinely changing the world, for better, bringing value to people's lives, I think that's much more important than, I mean, how many creators do you guys know that are like big 20, 30, 50 billion, followers that bring no value whatsoever to anybody or anything, and
just the normal mountain biker. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Damn, too soon.
I'm just kidding.
Damn, dude.
I'm just kidding.
Fuck, dude. Fuck the followers. Fuck the followers.
Yeah,
Fuck the followers.
And then the chicks get to wear like bikini things and grab your balls.
Fuck, I know. Water
You
polo.
guys got some good sound bites from me.
Jesus Christ, you have no idea.
I'm sorry.
Fucking
I'm sorry.
loving it.
Yeah.
I just
fuck.
ruined a serious and heartfelt message. So, but
No.
yeah,
That's inside of MTB right there. I even had to just look at the
Like,
title. I
subscribe,
still
and
don't know
follow.
the title of this thing. Yeah.
no, but absolutely,
dude.
dude. You're 100% right, and it is super cool and super humbling and super empowering also to be able to have the opportunity to affect people's lives in a positive way and stuff. So I think you're doing a great job of that. And keep doing it, and we'll keep watching and sharing and commenting and engaging, and hopefully you keep putting out your stuff. So, yeah, man, we're super, super stoked to have you on. And I heard you have some other ideas and some things that, are in the pipe, and I'm excited to work on with you and whatever.
Well, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's not an utter failure. So,
Shoot, man. We got to try.
Cool, man. Thank you for coming on, dude.
Awesome.
Fuck, man.
Wait.
We'll see you soon.
Actually,
Hold on, what?
yeah. Where will we see you soon? We'll see you soon, but where? Other than internet?
I will be the next event that I'm going to, like in person. You guys talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be at Sea Otter. So
Oh,
I'll
sick.
be roaming around there. I don't know if you guys are going to be there or not.
Yeah,
but,
we'll see you there.
We'll have to link up. But other than that, I'm planning on doing like Crankworks Whistler. I'll be out there as well. Northwest Tune-Up up in Bellingham.
TDS.
Be out there. Red Bull Rampage in October. Whenever they announce the dates, I'll be there. So
TDS.
Yeah.
TDS.
Might do
TDS.
some. Yeah. Oh, gee, of course. How could I possibly forget?
TDS.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah.
TDS.
Great.
The Sanchez family. Yes.
Yes.
I'll be at TDS. I am racing it this year too.
TD.
So,
yes.
Yes. 100%.
Oh, you're
So I'm
fucked
doing
now,
that.
Jamesy. No, just kidding.
Oh, I love it.
But that's it for me. Maybe some international travel this year as well. You know, maybe some Europe or maybe even beyond. So we'll see about that. So.
Fuck yeah.
Sick.
I love it.
Cool,
Well,
man.
appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time,
Thanks
dude.
for having me
Thank
on.
you so much.
And
You
fuck
guys
the
are
followers.
awesome. Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you, man.
Take it easy, man.
Cheers.
Thanks. Wait, do you have to kick him out now, Austin, so
I
we can
think
talk
so.
about him?
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
God,
Oh,
call yourself a
fucking A.
producer. I really don't like
Fuck,
how bright
my
this
internet's
light is.
breaking down, fucking falling
It's
apart.
almost
over
like you
here.
have Boulder Comcast.
Sorry,
That's
it's
my fucking.
It's been a rough
That-
fucking 2 weeks. for
That's
me.
like one of those moments where you're on the phone with somebody that you like don't want to talk to, and then you hang up, and you're like, "Fucking guy," and it doesn't actually hang up. No, I'm
Dude, you
just
know,
kidding. I'm
my
just
newest
kidding.
problem has been is like when I go to hang up and I go to hit the end button, but they ended it before, and then I click someone else and call
to
them.
call him.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck. And what's going on with your fucking lights right now?
Dude, I got this like little button
Oh fuck.
thing.
Dude,
And
all right, so
I tried all this interview to not fuck with this thing. It's just too bright. Yeah.
Well, we're still recording here. We're not.
Yeah,
Well,
we're
no,
recording.
I know, but
Yeah.
nobody's gonna like listen. As
Listen
soon
to
as
this
he
part.
gets
Yeah, he's
off,
off.
everybody's
Yeah.
gonna be like, "No,
Yeah.
fuck it, I'm
We're
over
out.
it.
The
I don't
followers,
need to listen to
so-
these goddamn jabronis."
No, but that was sick. In all
that was
honesty,
awesome.
sick.
Yeah.
great. What a dude, man. That was super
Yes.
cool. I don't know him super well, but that was great, man. That was
Yes.
cool. I can't wait to have him back. Like that was
we were
2.5
talking-
hours. And
Oh,
we're-
fuck.
we
I
can
don't
keep
know. My
going.
timer's wrong.
Yeah,
can
it's
keep going.
2:32. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I mean,
but
we want to talk a little bit. I mean, like, I kind of wanted to go back to the thing where we're talking about just being raw in the situation and how that's people are relating to that. I was having a conversation with someone. I hate the cut up podcast. I hate that shit. Like, I love us just just being raw and talking shit to each other, like we're the 50K or the things like that, and not having this just scripted type of podcast type of shit. And I'm stoked that we're doing it. And Sebastian Seabass was totally raw, and that was fucking sick. Like, that right there was a sick fucking interview podcast. Like, I don't know.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
it's good
that's
to-
what I got
yeah.
into this for, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
And
Yeah.
that and the huge amount of money we're fucking making over here.
Oh, dude.
All the sponsor
Breaking
plugs
it
we've
in.
been hitting with.
Oh my Lanta. I had to
Yeah.
go get a real job. I was getting paid so little from this fucking thing. Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, I mean,
No, but it was
Fuck,
really good to, and again, like going back, and we do get to know a lot of these people. Like, obviously, we're very fortunate in our positions and stuff, but like as an outsider, you get to think you know somebody on social media, and he is a legit dude, obviously. But then, like, getting to actually hear some of the background stories and his experiences with people on the trail are very similar to other people, and that obviously gives him that voice and that kind of the ideas and the creativity to come up with so many of these skits that he does that are so successful, And it is like he's poking fun of mountain bikers, and that's good. We need to make fun out of ourselves, and we can go back to the whole Ari and Fizzari conversation with that. Is like they're poking fun of themselves during this rebrand, And
Yep.
the hell of it is all those people that are in their comments and they're like, F this, F that, and then all the other drama. It's like, you guys are still talking about the brand. So what's that saying about publicity? No publicities or bad publicities?
yeah,
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All publicity is good publicity.
Oh, is that what it is?
I don't know,
Yeah.
unless
I was
they take you
shouting
off
at you
Pink Fight,
earlier about
fuck.
not knowing the word peer.
Yeah, all good.
God,
that
yeah.
was a brain fade. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fucking good times, you guys. That was fucking good right there. Yeah, I like
was
that.
sick.
Yeah,
Did you just cut off and pretend it was your internet and just smoke a bowl or something? And you're like,
yeah, that was
"Man,
the quickest
that was
fucking bowl hit
good.
ever right there.
That was
Fuck.
good times.
No, it's kind of tripping because I started the download on his because I was like, oh, we're kind of winding down. I usually try to start it, and then all of a sudden my fucking thing said, hey, reload your page, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, I
Yeah.
can't reload on the host. I'm fucking running this shit. What the hell? And then
Are
it
you
just
the
kicked-
host, or is Jamesy taking over? Let's be honest. Depending on how
It's
what
the
a week,
Jamesy podcast.
this is the Jamesy show,
The James show.
You
I
can-
love how many times you're adjusting your mic. So
dude. I just get
what's up?
fidgety, so I've learned to turn it off, so I'm not making a bunch of noise.
Dude.
I'm a fidgety fella.
That's what
Oh,
all the
man.
cool podcasters do.
I
though,
know.
man. They just
Fuck,
move
dude.
this thing everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys see that's why I got rid of the spring, so you don't hear the ding.
Yeah.
every
Yeah, but ours
second.
is real. We're raw.
Yeah.
We're relatable to the men, to the white men that buy mountain bikes.
No, to the women polo players and fucking where did he live? Somewhere in San Francisco. Yeah.
Hey, I know that we shouldn't really talk about this on the thing, and we should do it afterwards. But who are going to be some of our upcoming guests? Who have we been talking to? I want to get Joey Foresta
Yep.
from Ari Bikes.
Yeah.
Definitely, he's such a sweet lad, and he's so much fun to pick on.
There we go. I think we have coming up BG Brad
Okay.
Gordon from Specialized, and that will be on the next podcast, episode 6.
And we'll be talking about the new Epic Evo.
And Epic and all of his conquests at Specialized. I mean, dude, the fucking guy's kind of shaped XC Racing in Specialized brand for the last 5 years, 4.
I love
Some of it?
Spencer's
Part of
face
it?
right now, and I
Spencer's-
don't know if he's like,
He's a part of the process. How about that? Part of the process.
Yeah.
let's talk shit on
I
our
mean-
upcoming guests.
Well, no,
Yeah.
Well, all
Yeah,
of this to be said, before you two start
It's like you
squabbling about
shaping.
this.
Now you'll be shaping how people are for the brand Privateer and.
Dude, I am looking forward to molding the minds of our fans.
Of the youth.
I submitted because I've only had this role for like less than 2 weeks, and I submitted like a kind of write-up from Sedona that would go out in a newsletter, and I submitted it obviously to my boss, the marketing director, and I was just like, oh, this sounds like James. He's like, oh, appreciate the effort. You know when you have a good boss when they start with, I really appreciate the effort that you've put into this. However, comma, we need to train you on the brand of the voice of the brand or whatever.
Fuck.
But no, it was great. It was awesome. But anyway, yeah, I do need to be a little bit more less Jamesy. But
really? I mean, fucking, that's why you're James. I love the Jamesy, dude.
Less Jamesy there, more Jamesy here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's why you were just letting loose. Every 10 minutes, I would see your eyes up there.
I'm reading and and I was curious. Tell me about this video.
I think you said blowing smoke like 16 times in that fucking thing.
Oh, good. Yeah, I don't remember any of it. I blacked out the entire thing. But what I would like to, and again, not the time and place, but right now we need to find some females in the industry and athletes and stuff.
I literally just had that talk with some females of like almost like once a month being on here and being a co-host of it.
That'd be
sick.
Have
an interview, right? And
maybe
breaking down some good questions from
we had Bella
perspective. Yeah.
I just been sick of looking at ugly white dudes is all I'm getting at right now. Braden talked shit to me about me calling us all ugly, including him, when we're out at Sedona. I was like, oh man.
Oh, was Braden there too?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Dude, and that guy is like such an absolute G. But like he was talking about, and I don't know, like I'm going to paraphrase this, and I know I'm going to get some of it wrong, but one of the opportunities he had out there, and I don't know if who the conversation was with, but it was like, you could do a little coaching clinic. And he's like, cool. How many people would that be? And they said like, oh, about 10. And in my mind, I was like, that's 10 mountain bikers you have to be around at one time. That sounds awful. And then he turns around and he's like, no, I need more. I need to do more. I need to be able to like talk to more people. So they set him on the stage and did like a Q&A with him about like his mental side of stuff. And I'm sure he did I saw some stuff where he was out with riders.
Our podcast sparked this conversation, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. He did say thank you for all the extra followers that he really picked up.
I mean, once you hit 50K, you just know.
And or lost them. Wait, where's this 50K? We don't have 50...
Were you not in that fucking conversation?
No, I black out. I've told you this.
We were in the conversation, basically.
Okay. I was
Steve
like making sure
like,
we didn't have...
Once you hit 50K, it's fucking easy after that, basically.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's why it's still so hard for us.
He said the first 50K, and Austin just continues to take a jab at me because
what are you at now? What are you at now, Spencer?
Shit, dude, I don't know.
What are you at?
None of us know.
6,900?
No, but anyways.
Come on.
Spencer has the most followers of us all, so it doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter in the grand scheme.
And the most talented on the bike. I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, fuck. How do we even get this time in the day?
Is there anything else that that's pertinent to talk about right now?
Fuck. How's the new bike, Spencer? Seriously, like,
new
fuck.
Epic Evo.
Yeah, fucking kind of jealous. I want that bike.
It's pretty sick. It's going to be my daily driver, and I got a little Sea Otter plan that we're going to do some Sea Otter smashing with. See really how capable this bike is. But I will be racing a cross-country race on it on Saturday and an enduro race on Sunday this coming weekend. So we're going to do it all, baby.
Yeah. And you're racing Sunday on the Epic as well?
Both.
Nice. Which race is this?
Just a local Kenda Cup race.
Okay.
Just
this goes out after it. I was just curious.
No, you're doing US Cup, right?
Yeah, I'll do that the following weekend.
Okay, so are you racing pro, like against Blevins and shit? Like,
yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Look at his face. Like, yeah, of course. This is my job, Austin.
Are you worried at 130 though? Like against some of that,
He's on 120.
Okay.
The Epic 8 is 120, but no, I mean,
is he gonna race an Epic 8? I don't know if he's a hardtail.
100%. Oh, maybe he rides Epic World Cup. I bet.
Yeah, World Cup. Yeah.
But anyways, I mean. Or maybe they want him to ride the new bike. But yeah,
I don't know. But
I'm going to get absolutely demolished. But That's fine. We're good.
But I mean, yeah,
you're gonna have fun with it.
You were talking about your first XC race that you came back. Like the pace is fucking gnarly at the beginning.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to. I haven't done that. I haven't raced in like over just about a year. I haven't raced in Sea Otter last year, and I raced.
But that wasn't XC.
No.
When was the last time you raced a proper XC race?
The year before.
Okay.
In not proper. Over the hump races, which are parking lot races, but still get that intensity, an hour and 10 minutes of intensity. But yeah, that full throttle, I got whooped by some high school kids, which
they
rip.
But they
no, they absolutely rip. But no, it's good. It's good.
Did you do warm up? Like, I mean,
I'm
just asking. Dude. I mean, fuck, I didn't know if you went in just fucking cold, dude.
Yeah, no, I've been riding. I've been riding, and I'm pretty fit. But that intensity is the biggest thing. Just coming out of the gate, just full throttle for 10 minutes, and then
what have you changed since that race to this race? Anything?
No,
I mean, to get that intensity back, or
no, the best practice is racing. So we're just gonna try to put in as many races as I can before Sea Otter, because on Sea Otter I'm racing XC, downhill, slalom, enduro, all on Epic Evo. So Epic 8 Evo. So
fuck yeah! I mean, if there's going to be one place to do all of those, that's the place for sure.
That's the whole point, and it shows. It'll show just how kind of versatile the bike is. And am I expecting to win? Absolutely fucking not. Maybe I think I have a shot at podiuming the enduro. My fitness is pretty good, and that's a XC race. But
that is an XC,
and it's the first race of the weekend, so.
Your legs will still be alive.
Yeah, they'll be fresh at that point. But it's beside the point. Like, I don't care. I'm not trying to win. I'm just trying to go make some content that's hopefully relatable. So people hit me up on Instagram and they're like, will I need this to ride this terrain on an Epic? And I'm like, I don't know. You can ride it all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the bike, really. Honestly, I'm answering questions for Men's Journal right now. I got a questionnaire about mountain biking. I met one of the media guys this last weekend, and he sent me some questions, and all the questions are about beginners and getting into the sport and what you really need to ride. And like Braden started on his Breezer or whatever bike that was, and I started on a $900 hardtail. The best bike that you can be riding is the one you can get under you. And really you can progress. And I can ride the Epic Evo down a pretty gnarly trail. Is it the best tool for the job? No, but we can figure it out, and we can get better and make it down in ways that are realistic. So anyways, long story short, we can wrap this thing up, but I'm just
one quick question,
they're trying to show people that, hey, it's possible.
You told me you're just going to switch tires for some of the different events, right?
That's it.
Are you planning on like more air in some,
Oh yeah.
Sure. You're not going to do any other bike changes.
I mean, suspension, air change, air in the suspension.
Okay. So you are
just for slalom though, just for slalom. I'll race the same suspension setup on downhill as I do on enduro and XC. But for slalom, for sure, got to put more air in, different tires. Really, I'll probably run the same tire setup for everything except for XC.
Can we track how many miles you end up doing? Like, this has got to set a record at Sea Otter. How many miles? No, right? Like, fuck.
I don't know.
No? I think it'll be more than the gravel race? Like,
no, because I'm not doing the.
No, I know you're not doing that, but I mean, total for the whole thing with practice and everything, it has to be more than the fucking at 100.
I don't know. There's some kids out there that,
I don't think so. I'm also probably not going to practice the XC course. Maybe I will. It depends on which course it is. I don't know. We're getting there. We're going to get there. And we're going to find out. And I'm going.
We're going to have some fun.
You heard it first here. Spencer's fucking going to be the champ of every class, winning it all. Only on Insider MTB you get this type of info.
That's right.
And also, I want to get that connection over at Men's Health or Men's Journal or whatever you said. Yeah,
Men's Health. I need that doesn't even know what the fuck.
It doesn't matter.
That intro.
You guys need a new PR guy over there?
Well, no, that's what I'm trying to do is like Oh, you're talking about never mind.
Stab,
I'm gonna get
stab.
into advertising, so we're not
I
doing
got
that.
a full PR list for you. I've done it for years. So
All right.
I got you.
Tight.
I can
Kisses. Thanks,
And don't worry,
Spencer.
I can handle it for you on grammar because I fucking crush it on that.
Oh
so
my god.
Game
just
on, baby.
Send it right on over.
Grammarly.com. Let's go.
I fucking got it. It's not helping.
And it still messes up.
Yeah. All right, wrap this shit up. It's like 10:20
All right.
for me over here, and I got 8
All
to
right.
5 to go
I
to
know,
tomorrow.
I'm so fucking hungry. All right,
Thank you,
boys.
people.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for
everyone.
listening.
Yeah, episode 5. You can follow us on Instagram, Insider MTB. Hit us up on YouTube. Listen to us on podcast platform. We're pretty much on fucking everything now. So hit it up.
Yeah.
I hope the fucking balloons fucking pop when we hit this shit for your thing. No, it's not going to. All right, thank you. Later.
Good night.